Yeah, yeah. You be in the building. Hey, vibe with Uncle Bino. Let's go. Now happy hour things, you know. Hang out with you, babe. It's a vibe tonight. Hey, laugh and learn. We're shining bright. Oh yeah. You be stories, life lessons tight. Hey, on the Uncle Beno show, everything feels right. From the streets to the world, we talk real talk. Vibes on the beat make the whole place rock. Happy hour flow with smiles non-stop. Sip and chill with you, be the energy on top. You be stories dropping them every day. Wisdom for life, the African way. From the grind to the glory, hear what we say. Tune in now, don't hang out with you, be. It's a vibe tonight. Hey, laugh and learn, we're shining bright. Oh yeah, you be stories, life lessons tight. Hey, on the Uncle Beno show, everything feels right. Join the sister circle. Oh, what a scene. CC Inca, honey baby, and I be so clean. Talk love, talk life, talk dreams supreme. Empowerment vibes, like a royal queen team. All our Sunday school when the beat gets low. Yeah, a moment of reflection, let the spirit flow. Men of God speaking wisdom, you should know. Faith and vibes on the Uncle Beno show. Hang out with you, be. Come catch that light. Oh yeah, you be stories, keep your heart so bright. Yeah, join the sister circle, feel that fire. Oh yeah, Sunday school for your soul so right. You be nation, we rise together. Love and vibe forever. Uncle Beno show. Yeah, we outside.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. How you're doing? I hope you're having a great day. Today is the 13th day of November. Yeah, it's November 2025. And we are on again with our political roundtable talks, where we're going to cover a couple of trendy topics as far as Africans are concerned. So you're welcome wherever you're watching right now. Please hit the like button. If you are watching from your phone and you get the vertical screen, kindly tap on the screen. If you're watching on the broad screen, kindly hit a like. Don't be a stranger. All right, my name is Beno Real, and this is UB and the Real Fam, and we're gonna do it like we do every day. Welcome, my people. So on this edition, we're going to look at a couple of issues. First of all, this is one of the coverage on the terrorism situation in Africa and in Nigeria in particular. And on this episode, I'm going to cover a couple of topics. So let me walk you through what the conversation is going to be all about. So Nigerian government ignores Reverend Ezekiel Dakomo. or Dachomo. Is it Dacomo? I think I'll go with Dacomo. So Reverend Ezekiel, the Nigerian clergyman who brought attention to the ongoing unaliving of Christians in the northern part of Nigeria and in the Middle Belt. He has been talking since our lovely sister Adeola Fayeun gave him a platform to at least give us a first-hand information of what is actually going on over there in Plateau State. I remember on that show, I emphasized the fact that the media in Nigeria, they are not giving him attention, and I was wondering why that. So I saw him on another interview. This one is relatively bigger, and he expressed himself. He gave further information, and he even said that Trump will not find it easy to fight terrorists in Nigeria. We're going to cover that on today's show. Also, no genocide in northern Nigeria, says African Union chief. So if you're looking at the top lane, we're going to cover that because the African Union leader, H.E. Mahmoud, I don't want to get into it right now. He said, as published on the Punch newspaper, that there is no genocide in northern Nigeria, and that should attract a lot of questioning anyway. And we should be questioning what role exactly is the African Union playing in Africa. We have a situation in Cameroon and another situation in Tanzania, of which we were expecting the African Union to play a pivotal role by at least call out the BS and the rot in the crazy election they had in both countries. The African Union said nothing about that. And now we have people losing their lives every day in northern part of Nigeria. Yet the African Union said nothing is happening over there. I don't want to be a religious bigot, but the leader of the African Union is a Muslim. So I don't know, maybe he's saying that as part of his Islamic belief or religion. I'm sorry to all my Muslim friends watching. Or is he saying that as a result of the widespread corruption we got going on in Africa? I don't understand what that is all about. So we're going to examine all of that on today's show. Also, Wike, the Lord of Abuja. Wike has come out to defend himself. I saw a clip of Wike. You know how Wike rose. He invited the press. I've never seen anyone did press conferences like Wike. So Wike invited the press again, and he was trying to explain himself out of the mess he created 2 days ago. So we're going to examine all of that on today's show. And speaking of Wike, I think I'm beginning to see how the media in Nigeria works. Because it's like whenever Wike invited those journalists, he knew quite well that they ain't going to ask him any difficult question. He knows he's just going to have them put their mics in front of him and he's just going to rant and say whatever he wants to say. So thank you for watching. We're going to dissect all of that on today's show. So you're welcome. This is Uncle Benno and the Real Fam. If you haven't hit the like yet, please hit the like. And if you are watching for the first time, don't be a stranger. Subscribe to the channel. Let me holler at my people. All right, let me recognize everybody here. If you're watching right now, drop something in the chat so I can recognize you. I see we have 147 people watching already, so don't stay away. My baby girl, Comfort Adagri. What's up, mommy? I see you, Balogun. How are you? Wasu, it's been a while. How you doing? Tosi in the building. All right, Uncle Dial. I'm sending the link to you right now. You're welcome. For those who don't know, Uncle Dial is my co-host on Political Roundtable. So we're gonna do this together as usual. All right. So I'm sending the link to you, Uncle Dial. And for all the Real Fan members that are watching right now who may want to join the show, I'm dropping the link in our backstage so it can be very easy for you guys to come in. And I'm also sharing the link to the backstage for Real Fan members. But of course, I know you guys will be busy right now. You don't necessarily have to be here, except you just want to catch up with what is trending. Okay, let's start today's show with should I start with Wiki or we should start with the Trump thing? Guys, suggest for me, what should we examine first? Or maybe we should start with very dark man explanation of what's really going on in Abuja for those who are planning to buy lands in Abuja. Uncle Dayo, you're welcome. You're welcome. Anyway,
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome, sir. I hope you have a great day today.
I thank God for everything, sir. Thank God. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, let's get the show started, guys. Thank you. Hit the like. So to start this up today, here is Wiki explaining the chaos he started.
How can I sit as a minister? Government officials have been attacked. Government officials have been beaten up.
Welcome everybody.
Government officials to the level of directorship. Then I'm sitting in my office doing what? How will such officials carry out their functions again when they know their principal or their boss cannot protect them? Not as private individuals, as government officials. So many people have had problems. Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, former a general, former head of state, former president, he will call me on phone. Minister, I look good at this problem of land here. I say, please carry. I will solve the problem. That is former head of state, former elected president. We have the courtesy of calling the minister. Look, I have this problem. I have this problem. See how you can look into it. General Tiwadan Juma would call you. Look, there is this and this and this. These are people who, they're all retired generals. These are people who cause discipline. They didn't bother because they were former chief of minister. They were former president. They never sent soldiers. They never sent anybody to go and attack anybody. They just call you. And respect the gas, respect. I have to respect. And I'll tell them, sir, don't worry. I'll sort out the problem. And I will do. I won't even talk about other people who are highly placed. They will come to you. Mr. Minister, maybe we didn't know of this. If we knew, we would have done it like this.
Good
When
evening,
Major General
Shitinka. How you doing, my sister? Welcome, Shitinka.
I wrote a letter. The President Chief of Defense Staff was Chief of Army Staff then. I wrote a letter, sir. See. Because that is a serving military officer. He's still under the authority, under the control of the military. When I came on board, before then, President Jonathan had awarded a contract to develop another city, which was close to the military, but awarded a contract, not to me. A Federal Council presided over by the CNC awarded. The contractor went there, he was just away. I wrote a letter. We met. The late chief of army staff, Alabangi, was there. The former chief of defense staff was there. These same ministers of defense, they were all there. We all met. I said, look, it is not good, this government and government. I mean, it's not, let's see how we can resolve this matter. I never one day, I respect the institutions. And I know what it takes. Even as a governor, nobody, no governor will say that they supported the military more than me. So I know. But how do you see a private individual knowing fully well that you are against the law? It is not military versus government. No. If it was military, I would have written to them that, look, military, why are you doing this? This is a private individual. Land was not allocated to him. Land was allocated to a company called Santos. Listen, in 2007 for parks and recreation. They applied to the former minister for change of use. The minister refused. The man went, started selling land. Maybe the former chief of staff fell into their snap, sold. This government property. It's not your property. If government officials came to say, look, what are you doing here now? This is not, government has sat under the ministerial committee and taken back every land under parks and even under secretariat, because we felt that there are a lot of delays, suits, litigations. We said, no, we won't continue with that. You send this to start beating government officials. Not private, but government officials, beating them. Senior government officials, you were beaten. You couldn't even say, okay, let me get to the minister. See how he can help us, No, not like that. Simply because you had a relationship with the military. And government cannot enforce laws because you are attached or you had a relationship with a particular institution, or you come from a particular place. Who does that? Who does such thing? How would this country progress?
All right. All right. That is Minister Wike trying to explain his involvement with the young naval officer we covered yesterday. But to be candid, Wike did not explain anything. And like I said earlier, it's becoming a pattern with the minister. Whenever he effed up, he's going to invite the press. And the press, am I the only one observing this? The press will come. They're not going to ask Wike any tangible question, I don't know. Wike will just talk, and that's it. So, Uncle Dio, do you hear anything Wike said so far, sir? Maybe I'm the one not understanding it. Uncle Dai, are you here?
According to yes, sir, I can hear you, sir. According to what we normally say, you go shalaye tire, no evidence. The man is just shalaye. He just basically shalaye. Everything he just saying, he just trying to defend. I'm sorry, his foolishness that he did earlier on, because he later on realized that he has messed up. So, and the only way he could see save face is for him to try to like create a narrative that may seem to justify his actions, which the more he tries to even explain it, the more he's exposing his his own vulnerability that caused him that public disgrace. No matter what he says, no
Exactly.
matter the reason, he doesn't have any reason to go there physically to go and confront those confront those young officers. That is the height of it. It doesn't have any right to do that. Even as a minister, you're supposed to respect that position. You have boys, you have people, you have the institutions. The institutions are there to fight this battle for you. You don't need to go now. Now he went there as as, as normally does. You know, there was a video yesterday whereby he went to confront some people. I think they were police and some civilians, and they were all begging him. They were all saying, "Oh, for that particular one, he felt good that yes, he was able to like intimidate or maybe have his way." So he thought the same thing will happen there, that if he goes there, nobody can stop him. If the minister can do this and that, but not knowing that it's a different ball game. All I mean, everything all together like that. So he became embarrassed, and then the only thing he could do is to return back onto the press and start giving them a different narration. So to me,
Okay.
it's just a shalaye issue.
Okay.
Nothing more.
Okay. Thank you, Uncle Dio. Now I'm gonna play a video right now. This video that I want to play, I'm not playing the video because it's Very Dark Man, but I'm playing the video because of the information Very Dark Man put out. I remember for, I think about 2 years ago now, maybe a year and a half, not if it's not 2, Very Dark Man was complaining about how allegedly Minister Wike is grabbing people's land in Abuja, and they were playing with it, they were toying with it. So I remember one time when Minister Wike grabbed the land of this, there is this ex-military man, I think he was the first cadet officer in Nigeria, and he has this estate, and all of a sudden Wike said their paper, they did not pay something, blah, 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 that he's going to take the land. I guess they reached out to Very Dark Man, and Very Dark Man tried to brought awareness to the situation. But then Very Dark Man made a very sound warning at the time, and that's why I wanted to play the video. He said the military should rise up and checkmate what Minister Wike is doing in Abuja. That the way he's grabbing people's land, sooner or later, he will start grabbing more military people's land, because according to what I heard, I don't have property in Abuja. I don't buy land in Abuja. I don't even have plan going to Abuja. So I'm sorry. What I heard is that the military, they have a lot of lands in Abuja. Remember, Babangida moved the Federal Capital Territory to Abuja. And after Babangida came Abacha, and the military were the one in power at that time. And I also gathered that Abuja was originally not belonging to the federal government, that they have their original settlers, people who actually own Abuja. But as soon as they moved the Federal Capital Territory to Abuja, the government now somehow displaced those people who primarily own the land. And then they started allocating it to each other, because so one of the research I also made yesterday, I learned that in Abuja, people actually don't own land. According to the narrative, maybe I can still find that video. They say what happened is that when you actually claim to buy land during the military regime, you only pay, is it land usage fee? That's what they called it. That good, the government may come at any time to reclaim the land, something like that, Sha. So, but where I'm going is that the way Wike is moving, because I saw another video this morning. If you saw Wike on his way to go and meet this young soldier yesterday, without security, he came with his own motorcade. 2 pilots in front with bike. Wow, 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 yeah. Waiting happen. You know, in one of their narrative, they were saying that the soldier, Yarima and his boys, that they packed hillocks to block the road. It was because when the police, and I even saw another video, that was a mess anyway. I saw another video that before Wike arrived, the police and the soldier, they were already fighting. It was going to degenerate into a shootout until one of the police officers were now speaking Hausa. I'll go and look for that video. One of the police officers was now speaking Hausa, telling both the soldiers and the police that, hey, listen, we have nothing to do with this land. We are not supposed to kill ourselves here. This land belongs to the people in power. So they already have a huge battle before the police went back to inform Minister Wike. And then Minister Wike with his head told that we're coming until they got there yesterday. And that brilliant young man stopped him. So I'm going to play that video of Very Dark Man for everybody to just have a proper understanding of what's really going on with this Wike. I don't want to say what it in my mind. My sister, She Thinker in the building. What's up, She Thinker? How are you doing today, my sister?
How you be? Good evening. I'm well, thank you. How are you doing, Uncle Beno?
I'm trying to survive, but I can't get my mind off this Nigeria and Africa wahala, my sister.
Uncle Beno, sometimes we have to take mental health breaks from these things, Sha. Honestly.
I'm trying, but
we'll be fine. We'll make a strategy.
Yeah, my sister. She Thinker, you want to add anything to this Wike drama so far?
I found it very fascinating because this thing has been happening for a while. There are serving and retired officers in the armed forces and civilians who have had certificates of occupancy to different parcels of land in Abuja that have been revoked by the current minister. In fact, parts of the land that were allocated to University of Abuja apparently were revoked by the minister. So there are a number of people that are quite unhappy with the way land has been reshuffled under this minister's term. Bear in mind that this is not the first time this is happening. When El Rufai was made Minister of FCT in, I think, sometime in between 2003, 2005, 6, thereabout, I can't remember exactly when, he did something similar. At that time, though, he had the reason that he gave was that he was restoring Abuja to the original master plan. So it seemed like a worthy cause. So what he was doing was he was demolishing shacks and shanty towns, and then he was restoring common green areas, buildings that were made on parcels that had been delineated from the initial master plan as public green spaces. He demolished those buildings. So for instance, like hotels that were on parcels that were supposed to be parks and recreation centers, he demolished those buildings. That caused a lot of heartache. So a lot of people who had made investments in land in Abuja left, or in fact lost money, and some of them lost their lives due to the sadness from such huge losses. In that season also, it was reported, I can't remember who by, it was reported and alleged that some of those revocations were not restored to green spaces as it was purported, but they were reallocated to private individuals who are cronies of the minister of FCC at that time. I cannot confirm that story, but that was a very strong allegation at the time. It was a big topic in about between 2004 and 2006. But it was obvious. A lot of the development that he made at that time was obvious. So green spaces began to spring up in Abuja. You know, you have Millennium Park, you have different parks in Abuja. There are lots of parks and green spaces. Now, what's happening is that since this current minister has come in, what he's been doing, the people in Abuja are complaining that he has demolished some roads and rebuilt those same roads. So the road projects people are saying that he seems to have awarded are not new road projects, but are alleged to be rebuilding of current roads. So people have raised concerns about that. Again, these are allegations. I'm not currently in Abuja, even though I used to live there. Another thing that has happened is that some of those green spaces that were restored at great pain about 20 years ago have now been allocated to individuals and companies for private development. So people are complaining that we lost pain, we lost sweat and tears and effort and money and lives even to restore these parcels of land to green spaces. Now you're allocating them to cronies, again, allegedly. And there's a lot of pain on that count. On the third count, you now have the case where lands belonging to prominent people, like I said initially, civilians and staff of members of the Nigerian Armed Forces, allegedly have been confiscated by government and allocated for different purposes. It's unfortunate that that kind of roller coaster or drawing and redrawing of the city is being done with people's lives and people's investments, and it cannot continue to happen. And it's not, again, like I said, all of this is allegedly.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, this has touched even the top brass of the armed forces. Some of them having retired. So some people, not only, like I said, people who are deemed untouchable in Nigeria allegedly have experienced this drawing and redrawing of the city plan at their own, at their own losses. So we had the situation where Lieutenant Yerima justified the trust that was placed in him when he was commissioned as an officer in the Nigerian Navy and stood up to what appeared to be administrative overreach from Minister Wike. A lot of people are excited about this. A lot of people. There's the big manism situation you have in Nigeria, but this is not that. This is administrative overreach.
Yeah,
we cannot all be complaining. And this press conference that he's just given, unfortunately, I cannot tell the forest from the trees from everything that he's just said. I don't know what he was trying to say. I still cannot tell you what he said.
Me too. I listened. He's always. What are you talking about, man? I can't understand him. May God help me, God. Shetinka, you help me clear one or two things real quick, my sister. I saw one of your comment where you said, in the military, when you mess with one, you mess with all. Can you help
Forever and ever.
Can you help me shine some light on that?
When you join the military, the first two lessons you learn, there are two. Mm-hmm. There are many lessons. Obviously, it's a career. But I think the first two lessons you learn. Number one this phrase has been bastardized a lot, but is esprit de corps.
Yeah.
Which means like the course mate spirit or the team spirit. And the second one I'd say is the chain of command. Now, esprit de corps essentially means your brothers in arms, and when you touch one, you've touched all. Also, when one is liable, all are liable. So even in your training days, if one person commits an offense, the whole set gets to serve job for it. The whole entire set. You can't say no. Even if you find the person that did it and you identify that person, it doesn't excuse the whole set, because you are responsible for one another, and so you're supposed to protect or prevent your coursemate from an infraction. So it's not about snitching on him. It doesn't matter if you find who the culprit was, everybody gets done for it. So everybody starts to stand up for everybody. We stand as one or we fall as one.
So if we're going to apply this esprit de corps logic to the situation at hand now, because many retired military people, they diverse, so I'm beginning to see now, I can't even run the show here. A lot of them are talking now, and it's like they are really pissed with Wiki. This just shows how deep it is, what the level of damage that this minister has done. Now, people don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Minister Wiki is not doing his job, because like I said, I haven't been to Abuja, but from what I heard from people who lives in Abuja and visit Abuja frequently, they say he has really, really did a fantastic job within 2 years. I don't know how true is that. But this aspect of collecting land, grabbing land, and allegedly, according to what they are saying, reassigning or reallocating the same land to your friends, family, and it doesn't look well. And it's like, Yerima, what that young, brilliant soldier did, or army, your navy, sorry, what he did is like he represented the feeling and all the resentment many people have towards this minister. So if we are looking at it based on, like you said now, Shitinka, that in the military, you touch one, you touch all. Can this thing get out of hand?
I don't see it getting out of hand. I just think that the minister needs to mind his ministry. The minister needs to face his work. And these allegations of land being revoked, if it's happening, then it needs to stop. Because the thing about Nigerian land use is that all land is vested in the government of the state, or in the case of the FCT, it's vested in the ministry. But you are given certificates of occupancy for 99 years that can be renewed. And the renewal is supposed to be seamless. Right. So land in Nigeria really is not owned, it is occupied. So what is considered ownership is an occupancy that exists for 99 years. Now, some of these people are still living, so they've not even lived up to 99 years to justify them the idea that perhaps they bought it when they were 1 year old. So how is the land being, how is the occupancy the term of 99 finished to the extent that it is now being revoked? It makes no sense. And the other thing I have to say is that, okay, for instance, in America, they say once a Marine, you're always a Marine. It's not very different in Nigeria. You retire, but you're still accorded the respect of the rank you attained and of the fact that of the training that you received. You are still part of that. You're not, I don't know how to explain it to you. Even the people at the most junior level that ever had any military training or ever took an oath to the Nigerian Armed Forces, ever did any attestation to the Nigerian Armed Forces, still have a measure of recognition at from the Nigerian defense, because they were part and parcel of the fabric of the Nigerian Defense Forces. Sorry, the Nigerian Armed Forces.
Yeah.
So first of all, it is contrary to the Land Use Act for your property to be revoked without consultation and compensation. For it to be happening at such a scale that now people are having to push back and station sentry on their property, to the point where the ADC of Vice Admiral is standing sentry to protect the property of his of the person he serves. Yeah. Things have become ridiculous. We are now in the territory of the absurd.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I feel bad for the people who are losing their lands. Same thing is going on in Lagos and it's happening in Abuja. And why I feel sorry for these people is because many of them are even abroad. A lot of people are abroad buying lands in Abuja and buying lands in Lagos, and the Abuja own are worst pass. How can you, after you bought a land, you develop it, and you thought, okay, God has finally answered my prayer, life is good. One day, one minister just drink Ogogoro finish, just say, you know what, this document here, go and destroy it. And Wike does this thing like,
you see, Uncle Beno, when El-Rufai did it in like 2003, at that time he brought out the Abuja master plan, the document, and it was delineated. It was, even though there was no public consultation as such, there was sensitization to say, if you carried your money to go and buy land that was supposed to be on a drainage, now you do yourself.
Mhm.
Oh. If you use your money to go and buy land that was supposed to be on a green space, because at that time there were just Okada every Abuja. I'm sorry to say this. I've lived in Lagos. I've lived in Abuja. But at that time, Abuja was starting to look like, it was looking like Yaba. No,
Mm.
Yaba is nice. It was looking like Ajegunle at a point. Not that bad, to be fair. Maybe let me say Yaba.
But it
Because
doesn't
it
have that
was
image.
rough.
It
Yes,
doesn't have
for a
that
while.
image of a federal capital.
No. Because Abuja, I watched Abuja get built from ground up. It was, like you said, it was other people's village. Parts of it was Nasarawa, parts of it was Niger, So it was carved out. So that's why in Abuja, if you drive in one direction, you're in Nasarawa State. If you drive in another direction, you're in Niger State. There are other directions, if you drive in, you're in Kogi State.
And I
So
think
all
that's
of this
one of the beauty
was
of
carved
Abuja.
out. That is the beauty of Abuja. So all of this was carved out. And a lot of the people there are civil servants who've been working to build this country from the ground up, who've put their BLWOD sweat and tears into developing property, let's say for their children and their grandchildren to inherit after they're gone, whether they're civil servants or they're military personnel. And then all of a sudden, somebody comes and revokes it. And because, he's the current minister, governments come and governments go. We shouldn't have this level of impunity. If, like I said, allegedly, that is what is going on.
It's too much. Thank you, my sister. Let me, please, if you are free, hang around though. We still have
Okay,
to.
I'll be in the background.
Yeah, thank you, my sister. All right, shout out to everybody watching right now. I see you, my lovely Ice. How you doing? Ice, say, wish fantastic job where they are relocating lands to friends and family. Ice, make I praise her small now. I don't want to make the man wake up. Say, America. Oh, Vivian, what's up, mama? How you doing? All right, I'm going to take a few comments and then we will continue this conversation. Welcome, Uncle Patrick. How are you doing today, sir? Uncle Patrick says Wike needs management training. He's doing a press conference on what? I don't know, but I've seen that pattern over the years now. Anytime he messed up, he will call press conference, and then I won't get anything out of the press conference that him just talking over everybody. Right. Plenty Water say most likely Tinubu's already looking for a replacement for him, but does not want an enemy before 2027 election. Now, talking about that one, thank you, Plenty Water. Mr. Dio, why do you think it's very difficult do you think it's difficult for Tinubu to replace Wike?
Honestly, I don't think so, sir.
Then what's stopping him?
But it's just that now, it's just, Tinubu is a political strategist. If you remember, when he was going south during the Fubara saga, he was almost making up his mind to take actions on him. But Wike had to quickly get himself back on track. As it is, there's something about Tinubu. You cannot hold him to ransom. You can always call your BS at any time if he wants to. If he's still using you,
No,
not
I
because
think
he cannot replace you.
Wike. Sorry, sir. I think Wike hold him to ransom.
No, that is what we think. That is what we think. But if you remember, during that time, everybody was saying that the president should do something about Wike. The president should do something about Wike. But all of a sudden, we just add something like kind of a truce. They made a truce. I think from that time, Tinubu has made up his mind to look for an alternative in case this guy F up. He still wants to get what he has. That is why even this present governor of Rivers State now, the one that was fighting with, he had been co-opted into the Tinubu's camp. You know the way the man works. He works underground. So if Wike should F up, the only reason why he's holding him strong was because of the South people there. And I'm sure by now, Tinubu has won over 60% of those people onto his side already. So in case he just F up like this,
but
you can give him the boot.
But Uncle Dio, how many F-up will he do before Tinubu take action? Because I'm going somewhere with this. You see, like I've always said, I supported Peter Obi in the last election. But so far, so good. I don't think Tinubu is that terrible. When it comes to how he's running the country, is not perfect. I can rate him maybe about 50% now, but I can't even give him 60. But at the same time, I know he has those qualities of a leader that he can actually turn the country around. My problem with his style is things usually get out of hand before he make his move due to his own personal interest. I don't know if you get my point now. So with Wike,
yes,
how long will Wike, what effort fit past this one? Because frankly speaking, when you start messing with the military, you are just an empty barrier as a president. Let's call it what it is. You are not a president if the military are not in support. And if the top guns in the military, if they start feeling like, oh, you bloody civilian, you guys just want to mess with us, that means you're already having trouble. How long will it take before he will now say he called the shot? So that's my problem with Tinubu style of administration. How do I describe himself? That's my issue with him. He will not do what he's supposed to do. He won't do it on time. Until everybody start, then you now fix it, then you now push propaganda machine out there to start singing your praises. That doesn't fly. So please, Uncle Dio, I want to agree, he knows what he's doing, but it's for his own selfish interest, not for the interest of Nigerians. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Uncle Dio.
Yes, you are quite correct, Uncle Beno. Everything he's doing is for his own selfish interest first, because if it's for the interest of Nigerians, he will have taken some step initially, even before now. Not only Wike is effing up, there are many ministers, there are many governors that are like effing up, and he has done nothing to them. Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
He has always come out to like lift up his two hands and say, as if he does not know what is going on. Same thing with this Wike issue. He has been doing the same thing. So, but I think whatever is happening is favoring his own personal interest. That's why he has not done anything yet.
All right. Shitika, you want to add anything to that, my sister?
Uncle Bedo, no, I agree with Uncle Dio. I think that Tinubu's strategy seems to be that he's giving the minister a long rope so that he does himself in by himself. And maybe, who knows, he's appeasing the people who've lost property to say, don't worry with the next minister. I don't think he'll say that because that would be tipping his hand. But who knows, maybe when you have another minister after this one, if this one is changed, you will then have the lands reallocated back to their original owners. I don't know. But I think things are beginning to reach a crescendo because the national jubilation over the humiliation of the minister is something that nobody should it shouldn't be discounted as something that they can just ignore. No, people are really unhappy.
Yeah, even the defense ministry, for the first time, they tweeted that soldier.
Yes.
that means a lot.
They sent a sub. It looked like a sub.
And with this money, many of the political analysts as well as journalists, they are already saying, oh, they are using Yerima now as the face of the military. The military, they were complaining recently that they couldn't get Nigerian youths to apply for to serve in the Nigerian army. The debate was ongoing. So with this incident now, they want to capitalize on the brilliance of Yerima to now see if they can woo young people to their side. But it doesn't look good on Tinubu. And people have already said, "Oh my, you will support Tinubu." I don't support nonsense. He's trying. He has the capacity, but this loyalty, clique, this selfish interest kind of thing, I'm not for it.
Uncle Beno, I
Not
think
for it.
that people would make the mistake to call you Omale because the people who criticize the government are actually interested in the best interest of the country. And if you are listened to, then hopefully things would they would know to make their strategies based on some of the things that critics are suggesting. So for instance, you cannot delay long enough. I mean, what did we know about a few weeks ago? We just heard that the chief of defense staff and chiefs of army, naval, and air force were replaced. We don't know what happened. Again, it's about the top taking responsibility for what goes on in their command, right? And then there were allegations of whatever may have happened on October 1st, which again has not yet played out in the public domain for us to have an understanding of. But when it comes to other things, like when it came to that, it seemed like he was strategic, but still moved quickly.
Why?
On things like this, it is not only one person's life that's at stake. It is a lot of people's lives and livelihoods. And I would hope that the government would listen to the fact that a lot of people are unhappy with what is going on in Abuja. Abuja typically do not vote for the person in Aso Rock.
They don't.
That has been a trend.
Oh, maybe that's why they are snatching their land.
But if you snatch their land, it will be even worse. It will be more landsliding than it has ever slid before.
Well, I think maybe when we start covering the next election, we'll be looking into that, because for me, I don't think there's gonna be any serious election in 2027. I think the election is already won. Won already. Make I just put that like that, because if you look at the number of the people cross-carpeting, moving to APC, it looks like the election is a wrap already. And the election they just had in Anambra State actually is an indication that after 2027 election, we will begin the praise Mahmoud. This new INEC chairman, forget.
Oh, I have to say, I don't know, I have some confidence in the new INEC chairman. Small. I have to say, I cannot deny him. I have
Really?
some confidence. But again, we can all see where the tea leaves are pointing, that everybody is we're moving towards a one-party state, it seems, at this point. So
we're already a one-party state, my sister.
Yeah,
we're already a one-party state. It's just like when my baby girl Abby shared something in the backstage this morning and she tagged me. I wanted to rant in it. I'm like, it's not worth it. The whole thing is gone already. We are in a one-party state. Which political party do we have in Nigeria right now that is strong?
They've all been crippled, to be fair.
There's no strong political party. The APC have successfully dismantled all the rest of the parties. So it's just like what is going on in Tanzania. Peter Obi right now is moving like an orphan. No energy, no steam, everything is gone. They have succeeded in at least canvassing everybody that were supporting him. They've canvassed them away from him. The PDP, they were so dumb. They can't fire Wike. They can't do nothing. Wike is right there in their midst. And, so let's just forget 2027. That one is a done deal. But anyway, listen to my boy, Very Dark Man. Again, I'm playing Very Dark Man, not because of Very Dark Man, but because of the truth in what he has to say. Take a listen, please.
In plain terms, for those of you that don't live in Abuja, people that live outside Abuja, right? Near some Wike, the FCT minister, right? He has land grabbed to the point where people don't have any other option than to put soldiers on their land so that Wike will not collect the land. Do you know how crazy that is? Because I see people saying that land issues are civil matters. So why is the soldier man on that land? What you people don't know is that Wike is the owner of the court in that Abuja. Go and verify, according to Peter Obi. Go and verify. Wike is building houses for judges. What does that mean? He's building houses for judges. If you collect your land in Abuja and you go to court, that case is done. What Wike does, Wike revokes land and give it to his friends. I dey talk in plain terms. If you want to take me to court, we can now go to court, even though the court's na own, but this one go dey different because we dey come now with evidence and proof. They say soldier no suppose dey that land. Bro, if soldier no dey that land is as good as gone. Understand it. In Abuja now, we get the collect land they give in friends, or you go collect land, sell land, they go revoke the land, sell land. I'm telling you for free. Understand what is going on. So if Naomi man get land, the poor man understand. You see, as a matter of fact, let's go back to what I posted December 11, 2024. December 11, 2024. This is the caption before I play the video. Currently live at live camp by Minister's Gate Roundabout, where Nyesom Wike has authorized bulldozer to carry out injustice. I am calling on the attention of all military senior officers, major, generals, and co. It will be a disgrace and a shame to the entire Nigerian armed forces if they let Nyesom Wike do this to someone as great as Colonel Paul Ogebo, the first Nigerian cadet of the NDA Code 001. Code 001, the first NDA cadet. That is the first. When NDA start for Nigeria, I be the first person. This man get land for life camp. The man, by 4 years later, Wike came, revoked the land. Now, when he revoked this land, when guy the land give, they gave it to one Saravera Nigerian Limited. I'll play the video so you get it. Gave it to Saravera Nigerian Limited. At the end of the day, it was discovered that Saravera, 9 days in charge of Wike Hotel. So meaning say Wike allocate that land, give himself. I posted this in 2024. I'll still share it on my Instagram story. All right. I'll still share the link on my Instagram story. Currently live at Live Cam Roundabout, and behind me is the estate where Wike is trying to forcefully collect. Now, these people have been here since 1984, where they have allocated this land to them. They have the papers, they have all the legal documents. And Wike woke up one morning and said he has revoked the land, that the land is vacant. I showed you around the estate, all these people behind me, all these cars behind me, are the people living inside the estate with their kids and their families inside the estate. Wike woke up one morning and said he has revoked it, and now he has allocated it to this person. Now, I have the RFO and the CFO to the people he allocated it to. He allocated it to Saravera Nigerian Limited, which they contacted them, they are not in existence. This same Saravera are allegedly the people that are currently managing Wike's hotel in Port Harcourt. Now, the other person that has a big share in the whole of this thing is the head and the leader of the minority in House of Reps in the name of Kingsley Chinda. Now, I'm calling on the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Navy, and the Nigerian Air Force, because what is happening here today is just injustice. Why I'm calling on you people is that the person that owns this land, the person that have the legal document of this land, passed on just 4 years ago. It's his family and his people and the whole community that love him that is living here. This man was the first cadet in the Nigerian Defense Academy, the number one, the 001. If this kind of thing can happen to him after he passed, after the service, this man is a man that carried bullets in his body for years before he passed on. If it can happen to him, you that is a current colonel, current general, current whatever thing, and you cannot open your mouth to talk against this injustice that Wike wants to do here, mind you, tomorrow will be your turn. Because now you are sacrificing for the country. You are sacrificing for the country. You don't even have time for your own kids. You don't have time for your own kids. You are busy, okay, buy this one and buy this one so that your children will enjoy the time that they did not spend with you. You will now die tomorrow, and Wike or somebody will just come and dispose them and chase them away for no just reason, because he wants the place for himself. This is not done. Injustice for one is injustice for all. He brought bulldozer today, as you can see on my screen. So if that soldier man no did that land, bro, then they just kiss that land bye-bye. It is even possible that no be even soldier get the land. It is possible that the person just go using friend where the soldier say, I beg, if I don't do like this, Wike go collect my land. Is that crazy? Does Wike have power? Because we are in democracy, we know the military regime. Does Wike have power to say that guy should get off the land? I think so, yes. But in this case, where people no longer get any other option, oh boy, make power and power the one. Make power and power the one. I'm telling you, that's the only option, because you can't take Wike to court. He owns the court. They build estate for judges. He owns the court. They don't build estate for judge. May judge can't go talk against Wike. Who they build estate for judge before? May they build all those kind of big houses for them. If they will get mad talk against Wike, the judiciary in Abuja is messed up. It's messed up. And lastly, let me make this point again. You say, what is soldier they go do for that? Bro, at the end of the day, these people are meant to protect lives and what? Properties. The reason why I'm talking is because of this video from Asari Dokubo. Bro, soldier work now to protect what? Lives and properties. Then yesterday I talked about order. They say, oh, very dark man, you are indirectly supporting the Lagos State's NSAS spying where soldier come open fire. I did not say I am supporting that. I'm only saying soldiers follow order. That's one what happened for Lekki to Gates. Now order they follow. Now the question is, who gave them that order? Now be the person. Who gave them the order? Now be the person. Soldiers be like, I've said this thing yesterday, I'll say it again. That their work be like zombie. There are a lot of things that they need to change. I say, army go there for this junction. They give an order that you must stay in this junction. They go to shoot for the next junction. Boko Haram did the next junction. He will not move towards that place because his order is that he stays here. That is a zombie walk. And until they change that, our security system for this country no go dey well. Armies, there's some we get video of army where they go to do supply for Boko Haram now. Who gave them that order? Now still Oga. Everything now order. Oga no go by himself. If you see army, they do one bad now order. Now order. So our prayer, because then prayer when they work for now, I know ready to move. Our prayer should be that make the order where they give the order be better order. But if not, the people, the subordinates and the people under the superior usually work like zombies. That's how it works. That's the system. So, but for Nation Wiki, stop land grabbing. Stop land grabbing.
Anyway, I think we all got the message from Very Dark Man. So Very Dark Man was just sharing light. He was just kind of shedding light on what Wike used to do in Abuja. I've heard this one before, that Wike, they grab like allegedly. I don't know how true it is, but if the people that lives in Abuja say, now like this man, they move, who am I to question what they are saying? All right, let me also show you guys this video before we go into some of the analysis of what other people are saying about Wike. This is how Wike arrived at that venue, the site where the Kasala boss. This is how this is how Wike show up. Just watch. At the beginning, I just want to make una just see. Watch this.
Please, you hear from me? Why you don't wait here? I want you to no civilians. Please, Ibrahim. You have seen a lot of police and we are
He's still not officer now. He's not Even if he's having a problem, this government property. Show me the document you have. You have no document. Bring the document. Excuse me. I'm the minister. You cannot tell me. You cannot tell me that. We cannot continue to add in this impurity. Where's approval even to people? You cannot continue this way. This country cannot continue along this line. I can that man at his level. Even he has a problem. You cannot reach me. I'm sorry. See what I have. You will send soldiers. Don't intimidate who? We are all from this country. And this is government. You cannot be higher than any government. You cannot be carrying gun to intimidate people to not to do their work. Let me tell you, if one got achieve on the first staff, who spoke to me now, he could have killed everybody here. No problem. I'm not one of those that they can intimidate. I do my job.
The civilian, the engineer of the site, and then staff or workers of SCDA.
Yes.
Look at
to
intimidate them.
No, listen now.
That's the problem then. As I was saying, the area gets
They cannot do for that against government.
because the papers are complete and it's submitted.
Are you the one? Listen, you know the problem you have. Are you the one that will say, paper? Wait, show me that you are one. First of all, show me that government gave you this place. Two.
I beg, make una no vessel. Hey, my shit think I don't go. I can't stop laughing. So Wike is accusing Lieutenant Yerima of intimidating the people he sent. And whereas now Wike now if I send people to come and intimidate the people who are working there. What is the meaning of gaslighting again, please? Is what Wike doing not what they call gaslighting, Egbami? Oh my God. Wike said they are acting with impunity. Uncle Dio, did you watch this thing, sir? Yeah?
Yes, sir. I saw it earlier on this morning, and I was like, what's going on here? The man is just full of stories, nothing more.
Because the audio is even better on this one. You can hear everything. We can say they are acting with impunity. They are intimidating people. Hey, I fear
He's actually the one intimidating people. He's actually the one intimidating because that is his weapon. That's what he does.
Ooh. May we hear more?
Show me that you have an approval to build what you are building. It's going to do with I'm a vice admiral. I'm a lieutenant general. That is not it. We must work according to law. We must work according to law. And for you.
No, you don't say like this. Don't say like
Look at the chaos. We didn't get to see all this yesterday. Oh wow. Oh wow. Sister Chinye, those with helmet are the military guys. I think those are the naval officers. And then the other one that are looking black, those are the police.
If the Vice Admiral has a problem, so why I came was this intimidation. Okay, sir. Okay, but the point I'm making is that you can't control your vote in the other person. You cannot continue to vote illegal. You are not the one to say we have documents. You are not the one. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm an officer, I take to order.
So what? You had a who? Than me.
I'm an officer, I take to order.
So that you tell you have a
Mr. General.
Okay.
I can't say no.
Okay. You can never develop this property. I will not allow it. You have
I'm only acting on my
if
orders.
you want to kill everybody, kill everybody.
We will not kill
You cannot.
We will not. We will not kill anybody.
You put yourself in trouble.
We will not.
My friend, you see
you can even
because what you are doing now, because you are outside, you go and carry somebody's land. Because you are officer. Nobody does that. The man took Clara, we will not allow because you will take and then you to carry land.
Sir, everything was outside.
Will you stop that?
I'm an officer, I have integrity.
Shut up, your mouth, put
I will not shut up.
Will you get out?
Sir, I won't shut up. Sir,
I was a student, you're going to see school.
Sir, you can't shut
Will you
me up.
keep quiet? Did you big fool?
I'm not
You are a big fool.
I'm not a
You
fool,
think
sir.
I shoot anybody like that?
Sir, I'm not
Yes, who are you?
I am not a fool, sir.
As at the time I graduated, you were primary school.
I'm acting on orders.
Take for which order?
Me a fool.
You see what you love this year.
Sir, you can't call me a fool.
Go and develop your
I'm an officer.
mind.
I'm not a fool, sir.
What's wrong with you? So come on. No, you would have killed everybody here.
No, we're not killing anybody. We won't kill anybody. We're acting on orders.
Oh boy, I didn't get to see all of this yesterday. I didn't know that this disgrace was so it was so humbling, man. They really humble Wike no be small. So Wike brought all these people. Oh my God. No wonder. I beg. If you're watching, please drop flowers for Officer Yerima, please. Let me drop some love for Officer Yerima. I didn't know it was this big, this intimidating. Oh boy, this army guy get mine though. Uncle Dayo, did you see everybody that turned up here on this wahala?
Hey. They were many, they were full in their entourage. I was even counting the DSS that came with him. I think they were about 4.
Jesus
Four
Christ.
DSS officers. They were there with him and they could do nothing. They were just looking.
Please, let's give Officer Yerima his flowers. No wonder people were praising him. Now I see all the wide angles and see what really went down. Oh, Wike go really diverse. So no wonder he called press meeting. For the first time, they were trolling Wike on Twitter yesterday. They said Wike became the first minister to tell people to get out. And he became the one that actually have to get out. I didn't know this young military guy get mad like this. So, Jesus. Wow. She thinker. My sister, did you watch this video? Sis, you watched this video?
Yeah, the one where between the minister and the young officer.
Yes, this one now.
Uncle Beno, let me tell you, even people who are non-commissioned officers, in the right circumstances,
wow,
they would even somebody that's they're a recruit that they've been. Let me say, the attestation was. They've gone through the training and they've done basic training and their attestation was 2 months ago. Under the right circumstances, they will do the same. But this officer, he's worth every bit of his uniform. Worth every bit of his commission.
The guy really disgraced Wike. No wonder he got back to the office and said nobody should bring phone to work. This Wike is just looking for somebody to just.
I saw an AVM tweet today, an Air Vice Marshal, which is a 2-star general in the Air Force. I saw a tweet by an Air Vice Marshal today, and he tweeted about how I won't quote him, but I'll paraphrase the quote about being calm and being firm under pressure is one of the most important things in life. And it was a reference to this incident. It was clearly a reference to this. And that's one of the things that you don't flinch. You know, Uncle Benno, some of the first things you do is you're standing, rain will soak you, sun will dry you. You're standing still at attention. You're not moving your face. Not to the left or to the right. You stand there for 5-10 hours. Is it somebody like this that's backing that's going to frighten you? Do you know the number of people that are backed in his face for the number of years he's been in the Navy?
But how long had this guy been in the Navy? I don't think this guy can be in the Navy more than maybe 5 years now. He looks
not that long because he went through NDA depending on what he's. I mean, I don't know what he studied, but let's an average of 5 years in NDA, and then he's a lieutenant. I'm trying to think how many years he could have been. He wouldn't have been after commission. I don't think he would have served for more than 5 years.
See, please.
He's not up to 30. I don't know if he's up to 30.
He's not up to 30. He's not up to 30. But help me, Shitinka. I've been hearing this commissioning a lot. What does it mean when they say they commission a military person?
So when you've finished your training, whether you go through, so there are 2 cadres in the armed forces. You can be either a commissioned officer or a non-commissioned officer. So non-commissioned officers with the army, your rank stops at you go from your rank would stop at not a master warrant officer. Bear with me, Lola, Abby. Can you help me here? But then with the Air Force, it will stop. No, warrant officer 1. Warrant officer 1. With the Air Force, it will be master warrant officer. Now the thing is, back in the day, let me explain it like this. There were always, in all armed forces in the world, there's always the officer cadre and then the non-commissioned officer cadre. A commissioned officer typically has a different kind of training. You have not only field training and weapon training, but you have the kind of training that is subject matter expertise. So commissioned officers have degrees.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So they've gone through either a civilian university, through which they go through in the Nigerian system. You can become an officer under the short service scheme, or you go through the Nigerian Defense Academy, where you do you actually get a degree from the university as well as your military training. So you develop subject matter expertise in your degree as well as in the core of the armed forces division that you're part of. So whether it's in the Navy or in the Army or the Air Force, for instance, if you're in the in the Army and your division is infantry, you're going to get specialty training in infantry. If you're Army engineers, you're going to get specialty training in Army engineers. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. It's a little complicated.
Yeah, I get
it. If you're a commissioned officer, you're senior. Somebody can be older in age as a non-commissioned officer, but still not in the same rank as a commissioned officer. The highest rank of a non-commissioned officer is still junior to the lowest rank of a commissioned officer. That's why he can look at the police person, because the policeman is more than likely, because even in the police, you have 2 cadres. You have police officers and you have policemen. I forget the what they call their own lower cadre, but he can look at the person, because he looked at a policeman, one of the mobile policemen, and said his rank was junior to his, and he's right.
Yeah. Okay. Because I see the way he said it when I watched the video yesterday. I have integrity. I'm a commissioned officer. I'm like, does that commissioned officer really have? You know, the way some soldiers move these days. I'm even surprised we still have a young man who can be this strong and bold, that can still command integrity. Many of the folks we see now, once they get their money, they just soft. So that's why I was wondering, was it because of him being a commissioned officer, or does it mean that as a commissioned officer there are some special empowerment that comes with that. I really don't know.
Let me explain it for you like this, Uncle Beno.
Yeah.
Because even non-commissioned officers are worth their salt. They're worth their weight in gold. But for instance, we are looking at the academic system. You would have academic staff union and you have non-academic staff union. So academic staff, it's not like non-academic staff are not subject matter experts in their fields, because a lot of them work in admin and they work different kinds of jobs within the university. But the main work of the university, which is the teaching and the impartation of the education to the students, is with the academic staff. Both are very important. So, for instance, you can have a commissioned officer leading a battalion of non-commissioned officers.
Go ahead, please. I just wanted to know this down.
So you can have a commissioned officer leading a battalion of non-commissioned officers.
Okay.
And yes, so non-commissioned officers will always report to commissioned officers. There's mutual respect at the level of because of professionalism, but a commissioned officer is always senior to a non-commissioned officer, no matter how high the commissioned officer's rank is.
I see what you're saying now. I remember growing up, we used to call them recruits. So those recruits, those that did not go through the academic route, they are the one who are non-commissioned officers.
Exactly. Many of them haven't had the opportunity to go to university yet. And one of the things that the armed forces do in Nigeria is that some of them, having gone to university, you can apply for commission. And some of them, having distinguished themselves, even whether they've gone to university or not, having distinguished themselves in service and attained the highest rank of the non-commissioned cadre, may be commissioned to a lower rank in the commissioned cadre. So maybe you've attained master warrant officer in the Air Force and you distinguished yourself, and they now decide that they're going to make you a flight lieutenant or a flying officer, which is a flying officer is the lowest rank of the commissioned officers in the Air Force.
All right. Thank you, Shitinka. We're going to examine one or two things again. I just wanted us to watch the reaction from TVC. The reason I wanted to play the reaction from TVC is because TVC allegedly, they say, is owned by Tinubu. And I know one thing about that station. They don't go against Tinubu. They don't even, any news where Tinubu fuck up, they know they even carry himself. And I don't blame them. They have to chop. But with this Wike thing, for them to really went in on Wike, it seems what Uncle Dayo said might be right. So that's why I wanted to play. But before I play it, Uncle Patrick, I see you are in the studio. You want to add anything first before I play the video, sir?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you, Free Thinker.
Shitinka, our baby sister.
Yeah, I know we have combatant soldier and non-combatant soldier. Maybe the non-commissions are not combatant soldiers.
Uncle Patrick, thank you very much.
Uncle Ben, I just wanted to pull your legs. Say, were you sleeping yesterday when you played video?
Hey, it's the camera angle, sir. This one that I played now, it reveals more. You know,
played it several times now. You weren't paying attention.
Most of the clip we played yesterday, they were kind of a tight angle clips, kind of, But this one shows the environment, everything. And I wanted to play it for people to see how we can take a life saying one can grab land. Because how you...
We can play. Let me put it that way.
Ooh, this is the first time I will do show where we say, I know if you say the word where they come my brain.
Why are you saying that in a public domain as an administrator? Why are you using the word shut up? Keep your mouth shut. You can't even say that to kids.
Exactly, sir.
Because when you say that to them, they're going to repeat it in their school. Wike doesn't have training. I'm sorry to use that word. How can you just be saying that in an establishment as a boss? You are talking to your subordinate, say, shut up. You are a fool. No. That man is so... I don't know how to describe it. They need to take him out. I'm serious. That would be another Tinubu's move.
I will send I will share Very Dark Man reaction yesterday to our backstage. The video Very Dark Man made yesterday, that video cracked me up. Very Dark Man say, we can say this young officer is a fool. Very Dark Man say, yes, you are a fool, Yerima. And this is why I say you are a fool. When wicked day in front of you, when you suppose carry gun, blow your leg off. I'm like, this video dumb not, you know. But anyway,
Some things they can get away with. Yerima not be Fubara, different name. You know what I mean? Yerima, Fubara, they are different. So this man thinks they just go tell Tinubu, may they put state of emergency. I beg, the man they play.
He's doing too much. He's doing too much, honestly. He's doing too much. I don't know. I think whatever he have on Tinubu is very, very strong. It's too much. Come on now. Share. Well, here is the reaction from TVC. Shout out to everybody in the comment. I'm going to read your comments, but let me quickly play this video for everybody to at least hear the reaction from TVC first.
Based on the story that was taken yesterday, before we go, Nima wasn't here. She was traveling all the way from Edo State, and I wasn't on the show as well. So concerning the Wike story, we would like to hear Nima's opinion on it, and I'll see if I can add a few words as well.
It's not good, but it's
yes.
Okay. So I have opinion on it as a lawyer. I was wondering what the Minister of the FCT, as a lawyer, far senior at the bar, was doing enforcing land grabbing issues personally. Ordinarily, as lawyers, these are matters of the courts. When a court order is finally given, I did not hear whether one was given as regards this land's repossession. It will be handled by the bailiffs. I had a property of a very well-known somebody of us here. I spent almost 700,000 in the initial enforcement of that court order, and another 400,000 before I, discarded that particular enforcement to the owner because of some unresolvable conflict. And I know how much we spent, trying to get a court order enforced, because you have to get the entire system, the police informed, the bailiffs will, get the court CTC of the judgment, go there, arrange an enforcement of a repossession before they get on site. So I know that the FCT minister is not the one who should personally take over the work of court bailiffs. If this was not, done through the courts, I don't see why. I faulted, because I saw the video from TVC News where he personally arrived at the venue and there was a caterpillar in the same venue. As in, you come and enforce by yourself. That is completely wrong. I also think that it is wrong, no matter who you are, to talk at the veterans who give their lives daily for this country. Do you know what it is to be in the military? It means that 1 minute you are kissing your wife, hugging your children, and the next minute you can be sent and you will never return. That sort of sacrifice should not be talked down at, no matter how. No matter how the military officer, no matter the position of the military officer, except it is somebody superior to him in the ranks within the military. That's when it should be allowed. No civilian should see a military officer who knows that the person in that uniform, the moment he's standing, pays the price of life for him to talk down at him. It shouldn't be allowed, and I agree completely with all the ex-generals and ex-military officers who we took this morning in the Punch on their stand. I also think that it should be investigated, because now we are blurring the lines between civil matters and criminal matters.
Okay.
A military officer, we see it all the time, where they will use Navy officers to go and protect land. It does happen in Lagos, although I enjoyed one that they beat the Omonile silly, because those Omonile were a problem. But then, it shouldn't be the job of military officers who should be manning the territorial space and waters and land space of this country to be at a civil matter protecting land for whether it is an ex-military officer's property or a civilian's property. We should not be demeaning our military officers to that anymore. Those are civil matters handled locally within the territories of our country by the police. Look at that fine young military man. So they protect land because of what? But then you can't fault him. He doesn't take orders from anybody. The only civilian who has the authority to give orders to any military officer is the president. Every other orders come from the chief of army staff down the ranks all the way to whatever rank that man was holding. And so the
Sorry. You guys can't hear me. I'm so sorry. Shitinka, please, can you clarify that for me? Is it true that only the president can give order to the military as a civilian? That no other civilian can order the military?
No other civilian can order the military, no. Because there's something called chain of command. His orders their orders rather, have to come from somebody within their chain of command. There's no civilian within their chain of command except the president, who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. It's not going to happen.
Oh, how about governors? Governors can give order to the military?
If the governor gives the governor cannot ordinarily give an order to the military, but they can have a conversation with, for instance, the person who is the commander of a division or the air officer commanding some command, and that conversation can result in orders given to people down the line, which are then carried out. But it's not that the governor would, or if there are I'd say soldiers or officers attached to the governor for their specific duties, then the governor can give specific duties to those soldiers because they are attached to the governor's office. But ordinarily, a governor cannot just see soldiers on the street or in the mess, or in when I say mess, I mean an officer's mess, or in a barracks, and give them orders. No, it doesn't happen.
So now, if we have an emergency situation in a state in Nigeria, so that means the governor cannot command the military in that state?
The governor will have to liaise with the head of the commander of the division, or the commander of the command, or the air officer commanding the command, by which I mean, so under the army you have divisions, under the air force you have commands, under the navy I forget what it's called now, but they would have to liaise directly with the people in charge of those divisions, with the officers in charge of those divisions, very senior officers, usually 1-star generals, or usually 1-star generals, sometimes 2-star generals. They can't just directly say send soldiers on errands. It doesn't work like that. They're civilians, and they don't even understand the tactical concerns with sending soldiers on certain errands.
Okay, so I brought that into the conversation because I think I still want to address this issue of NSAS. It might be on another show, because till tomorrow, the question is still, who ordered the soldier to shoot at the protesters? Why some people are pointing fingers on Governor Sanwo-Olu, and some people are saying Sanwo-Olu cannot order the military to take such action. So your explanation now kind of cleared the air a little bit for me. But thank you, my sister.
What could have happened in that situation is that Governor Sanwo-Olu must have had a conversation saying what he wanted to happen. The orders must have been given. And the thing about the orders having been given is that the other thing is that the officers or the soldiers who carried out the orders are also not responsible to the general public to come and say who gave them the order. It's the person who gave them the order that's going to say who gave them the order. So we don't employ them. Let me put it like this. We employ the governor. Our grouse is with the governor.
Right. Okay. ABC, I will ask question for research purpose. GSA, a court order was probably not ordered. Nigeria, I don't know why our things are not straightforward. Anyway, let me play the rest of this video and we can move on.
The FCT minister should have just made a call. Maybe to his principal, the president, or to the chief of army staff if he has any authority to do that, or as maybe as ESCO members, call them, let them know that somebody under their establishment is confronting your office. Let it be handled, and I don't think it should even be those calls. If you want to repossess a land, you repossess it, lock it. When the person continues to build, the repossession order remains, you get to court, you do what you do it through the court. And the FCT minister has been the one sponsoring hostels in the law schools, sponsoring cars for judicial officers, as a legal officer himself, his wife a legal officer of the bench. He shouldn't. So we don't have respect rule of land, so we blow a lot of lines. A lot of us now that are lawyers, we are confused as to what is the real rule, what is the operating rule or ground, how the Nigerian way of doing it, and it continues to confuse as time goes. So these are opportunities where you set things right. You do things by the books and how you should go, so that children don't grow up thinking there are no rules. Yeah. You can do it anyhow. Where you talk to a military officer, I can see a military officer and say, you're a fool and all of that at a site. Those are completely wrong examples.
Let me give my own two.
Okay, that's what I want to take from that. And there's still so much we have to cover with Wiki and what else is going on in Nigeria. But because of my time, I want to touch upon two other topics. I have just 30 minutes to do that. Thank you, Shitinka and Uncle Daya, for hanging out with me. I quickly want to get your take on this no genocide in northern Nigeria, says African Union chiefs. For those who are not aware, the African Union head have spoken, and that man kind of irritates me, make I no lie. So give me just a minute, I'll be back.
Will you stop that?
I'm an officer, I have integrity.
Shut up your mouth, put outside. Will you keep quiet?
Yeah. You be in the building. Hey.
All right. Welcome back. Thank you, everybody. Please smash the like button, and of course, if you've seen us for the first time, subscribe to the channel. So the African Union head, what's his name, Muhammadu or something, he made this statement, and you can see it published on the Punch newspaper. He said there is no genocide in northern Nigeria. And I wouldn't have so much issue. Make I just be honest now. Those who want verse, make a new verse. I wouldn't have had much issue with it if this man was not a Muslim or a Christian or anything. But he's a Muslim. And for him to ignore all that is happening and confidently say there is no genocide in northern Nigeria, despite the numbers staring off on our faces, I think that's an insult. Okay? I think that's an insult. And I'm going to read what he said now. So the African Union chief said there was no genocide in Nigeria's volatile north after U.S. President Donald Trump claimed that Christians were being slaughtered by jihadists and faced an existential threat. Trump this month threatened to carry out an armed invasion in Nigeria, saying radical Islamists were killing Christians in their very large numbers. The U.S. leader said Christianity was facing an existential threat. I don't know why Punch always do this thing, repeating the same thing. Very local people. Which one is this now? Yeah, we're in. This is why I don't like the Nigeria website too. Fiona, they see something now. Sorry for that, please. So, chair of the African Union Commission, Muhammadu Ali Yusuf, told the press conference on Wednesday in New York that there is no genocide in northern Nigeria. The complexity of the situation in northern Nigeria should push us to think twice before making such statements. That's what he said. Yusuf said, the first victim of Boko Haram, the most prominent jihadist group in the region, are Muslims, not Christians. I don't know if you guys are hearing this. Shitinka, are you hearing it? Let me see. Maybe everybody they hear this first.
Yes, but I don't quite agree. Yes, there have been a lot of Muslims who've been killed, a lot, and it's very sad and it's wrong and it should never happen. However, if we're talking about a historical chain of events where Christians have been killed since the 80s, in different waves of violence, and even more so now since I'd say 2009, that historical chain of events against Christian communities in northern Nigeria and the middle belt of Nigeria is what equates to a genocide. Yes, in the last 5-7 years, Muslims have been killed en masse in places like Zamfara, Katsina, Sokoto. Sokoto not as much, but definitely Zamfara. I think also in some parts of Jigawa, and in some other states as well. But there's been a lot of mass killings in Zamfara in particular. Yes, that has happened. Also Yobe, also Borno, also Katsina. Like I said that earlier. So yes, that has happened.
Okay, so now listening to the man who called himself the chief of UN, African Union rather, for him saying there is no genocide in northern part of the country and that the first victims of Boko Haram are Muslims, not Christians. Does this make any sense?
I don't quite agree, because I don't think you can say the first victims. Well, first of all, if he's talking about Boko Haram, then he's limiting the genociders to Boko Haram, and the genociders have not been limited historically to Boko Haram. Before Boko Haram, there were killings. Right now, also there have been waves of killings that are now associated to unknown militias that are generally given the title of Fulani herdsmen. You don't know what association, they don't have a name, so they don't come and announce to you, this is our name, this is who we are. Even though the people who have survived those mass killings said they heard the people speaking Fulani. But you can't limit the casualties to say they've all been casualties of Boko Haram. A lot of the killings in Zamfara, it's not Boko Haram. There are people who are from that part of the country who've told me that some of the killings have been. They've said to me that some of the villages in those places have now have settlers that are Tuaregs. I don't know how that's happening. I've not gone there to see for myself. So I'm just telling you what's being reported, allegedly. So if he's only talking about Boko Haram, then he's very short-sighted and he's talking about a region that he's not studied properly.
Exactly. And that makes me to question his leadership. Look at what's going on in Tanzania right now. I won't have the news here too, but I can't cover that today anymore. In Tanzania now, there are reports that many people are missing in thousands as a result of the protest following the just concluded election. These dudes he doesn't do nothing. Again, in Tanzania, the president is a Muslim just like him. Nobody can tell me this. This guy leading the African Union right now, him himself, allegedly, him gonna be Boko Haram.
You see, the problem I have, Uncle Beno, is that people like him are giving honest, moderate, kind Muslims a bad name because he's denying what is actually in our faces. Because it's not against your interest to say that yes, Christians are being killed, Muslims are also being killed. Why can't you give a a balanced story. Instead, you're now trying to trade to do what's the word, Olympics without a measuring contest with who's been killed more. If we want to be factual about who's been killed more, the problems do not. Boko Haram started in 2009. Killings of Christians in northern Nigeria has been going on since the 80s. So we can't start. And then now in Tanzania, it's problematic because I'm sure there are Tanzanian Muslims who do not support the president or the person who's rigged her way into power now for another term.
Yes.
But because he's doing back or whatever it is, he seems to be unable to call a spade a spade. And that is not a good mark of leadership at all, because no matter whose ox is God, you need to be able to say what exactly is going on so that the matter can be solved.
This dude he's worst. I have never seen a person like this before. Eh? The UN Human Rights is reporting that after the election, thousands of people are missing. Nothing was being done, and all this guy has to do is to go there and say he was even congratulating the president. And now Trump said, "Oh, this killing in Nigeria, okay, you can say there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria, but why would you say there is no genocide in northern Nigeria?"
There is absolutely a genocide in northern Nigeria. Villages and towns people in villages and towns. Minister Wike's job that he's doing with the pen and his thugs, let me say his enforcers, is what a lot of those bandits have been doing in northern Nigeria. They've been overrunning villages and towns and taking them over. They've done that for years now, and it's happened on a large scale. It's terrible. Christians and Muslims have been victims.
What is the African Union for? How does this? I'm going to investigate this thing myself because I don't know. I can't feel their impact. I don't even know what they do. Uncle Patrick, sir, do you have any idea how these people come?
Uncle Ben, I'm not even worried about the nonsense this man is saying. Americans are on ground. We have missionaries, we have people from the Congress that have been monitoring situation. So this man cannot come out and begin to tell this nonsense. People, they have tapes. We have pastors priests. Also about the priest that was addressing Congress. Does it mean those people don't know what they're doing? People that have lost family. We have names of people that are being quiet. So this man doesn't know what he's saying. Well, I just pray that these so-called Muslim fanatics, non-Muslim in general, they will not destroy Africa. Honestly. That's my prayer, because this is getting worse.
It's getting out of hand.
I just wish Ted Cruz will release those lists. I don't even want it from our government. Let America release those lists. And let's see what we're going to do with it in Nigeria. Because I don't even know, we don't even have a government right now. We are talking about 2027 election. I'm not sure. I'm not saying it's not going to hold. But what is happening now, I don't know. I don't know. Tinubu has to sit down on his ass. Yes, all those people by his side. And people are even against the Sultan of Sokoto that went to Tinubu and was saying something like this.
Mm-hmm.
People, even Muslims, are against him. How can an elder, a sultan that represents the Muslim, be saying such a thing? So, Uncle Ben, we don't know where we are going yet. We don't know.
You better help us.
Because they are saying that Africa, if America should, Nigeria should go through this, Africa is not going to survive. Yes, that's what we are fighting against, that they should not touch Nigeria. Me and you have been talking about it. But with the way these people are doing, especially the Muslims, I don't even know those people. I don't even know.
It's the fanatics. It's those extremists. They are the ones creating most of this problem.
Yes, one of those things that we're going to study on Sunday by God's grace. Yes.
That's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Just take it easy, Uncle Ben. Those people can press your button. But
see, this is the first show I am doing that I am struggling to bring words out of my mouth.
Yes, I understand.
This is the first one. From Wike to all of this, I'm just struggling because if I talk with it, delete in my mind, Uncle Patrick. Anyway, we have another guest in the studio. Mr. Agbese. I believe I called your name right, sir. Am I right? How are you doing?
Sir. I'm all good.
You're welcome to Political Roundtable with UB. Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling you from Maiduguri.
Maiduguri. Excellent.
Yes.
I'm happy to have you here. So, sir, what do you want to contribute to the show, please?
When immediately I heard you say that, okay, he's saying that Muslims died more than Christians. I felt that I should be in the studio to also contribute.
Thank you, sir. Please, the floor is yours.
Yes. Initially, when this whole thing started in Maiduguri, I happened to be working with the grandson of Shehu Shagari. There is one thing in which he always tells me that Christians would definitely suffer and they will continue to die. And he always tells me that, don't worry, you too, you will die. I follow him to almost virtually any local government in which they ask the both of us to go to get some news beats, because then I was working with Rima Radio Sokoto. Then I was in Sokoto, but presently I'm in Maiduguri. The whole thing is that go to majority of the Christian villages, except maybe where you see a lot of Christians, except Biu. You will discover that majority of all these Christians villages have been ransacked. If you even go to a place called Kilabage, where is the headquarters, almost minus Goza, the headquarters of Boko Haram presently, is in Kilabage. In Kilabage, they are very close to Chad. That's why Chad decided to close their border there.
My
If
brother,
you see
I'm sorry to interject. Did you just say the headquarters of Boko Haram? Like they have a place they use as headquarters?
They have a place. And majority of the soldiers that you even find in Kilabage are Chadian soldiers. Nigeria have few soldiers in Kilabage compared to the Chadians at the other border. The whole thing is that when this whole thing started, it was as if, okay, let's wipe the Christian away and take over their lands, take over everything. To a point, I wish I could even invite a friend here that he will even tell you openly, virtually, because him, majority of his friends are in Boko Haram. So, what the majority of his friends are in Boko Haram. He can even tell you some of the things in which they are doing, even how they are forcing him to join. Because if you do not join, some of all these people coming from other countries will have more position when they happen to take over Nigeria, and you will be in no place because you did not participate when they were fighting to take over Nigeria. They used to tell him that. This is just the plain truth. So majority of the Christian villages, or where there are a lot of Christians, because majority of times you discover that in a family, especially the tribes like the Chibok, you discover that the father is a Muslim, mother is a Christian, another daughter Christian, another brother Muslim, another brother Muslim. They don't care about whether you're a Muslim or a Christian. Places like Chibok, even the tribes in Biu, and the southern Borno especially, this is how it is. But some of all these places, this is how they destroy them. In a place called the Kilabage, in which I know much about because I've been there for months.
Oh, sorry, sir. Can you help me spell that Kilabage? How do you spell it? I wanted to check it out.
Kilabage. K-I-L-A-B-A-G-E. Kilabage.
As in letter G for God, for governor?
Yes. But run precisely. Run.
In what state is that?
Borno State. Run precisely. Run is R-A-N-N.
Okay, go on, sir.
So there's a place in which we call Ajari. Ajari is popularly like the Kanuri settlement. You discover that there is light in Ajari. All these other places in which we are, you discover that there is no light. A lot of all these settlements and everywhere around is like IDP camps. Why? Because 80% of the Boko Haram are Kanuris. Now, let me tell you the difference between ISWAP and Boko Haram. You know, ISWAP, to me, are we even tell anybody that ISWAP is like the government dog, the dog in which the government is using. And Boko Haram is like the dog in which they decide to discard during Buhari's time. A lot of them, they know very well that they are the one that created Boko Haram. But when Shekau stopped listening to them, and Shekau was so angry because some of the agreement in which he had with a lot of persons in that government, they were not following it. In 2017, in March, I think 3rd of March, before Buhari traveled for United Nations, he was in Sambisa to meet Shekau. And there were 32 soldiers that escorted him there. Then later in the evening, they released about 83 Chibok girls for the government. The whole thing is this. He have a lot of problem with Buhari because Buhari was not following some of the things in which they created them. Because Buhari knows very well, and a lot of person knows that Buhari is among those that created even this Boko Haram of a thing. He is involved. They thought that, okay, they will use it to achieve whatsoever they want to achieve. When Shekau was not listening, at the end of the day, they have to look for a way in which they were able to cause problem between Shekau and Abanawi. Abanawi is the son of Yusuf, the first person which was in charge of Boko Haram. Then at the end of the day, what happened? They discovered that they cannot control Shekau. They now use Abanawi group, which is the ISWAP, to attack Shekau. And that was how they killed a lot of Shekau commander before Shekau decided to blow himself and kill himself. Atahiru, which is in charge of the military, Nigerian military, was killed around 12 that very day. Shekau was killed around 3 o'clock that very day, that same day. Why did they kill Atahiru? Rumor will tell you that it's because of the probe in which Atahiru was investigating. And he discovered the whole list because they even sent some list from United Arab Emirates for him. The US too sent some lists then for him of those sponsoring Boko Haram, and a lot of big profile names were there. This is somebody that died CDS, and the president not even deem it fit to like, okay, let them honor this person, to bury this person very well because of some of the investigation and the names of the people that are there in the document in which he was investigated. Atari was a very brave soldier. He fought for the country, but I wish that one day this country will recognize what Atahiru did for this country, or what he's planning to do for this country before they decide to eliminate him. And these are some of the things in which some persons or some journalists are supposed to like, okay, once in a while, let them probe what really happened. A lot of things have been going on. Christopher Musa is doing a good job, but they decide to silence him. So there are a lot of things in which, if you check the Nigerian government, you discover that they are not following some of the rules or some of the things in which they are supposed to do, but they expect that, okay, this issue of terrorism should be solved. But they cannot solve issue of terrorism when they are wearing, let me say, a kind of hand glove to pamper the same thing in which they are trying to solve. So these are some of the issues that I find that
there is something making noise there. It's kind of distorting.
Yes, I'm using a what they call it? Is it pressure? This thing.
Oh.
Pressure cooker. So I'm trying to open it.
Okay, go ahead.
So
please.
that's it, please. So of a truth, you discover that most of all these attacks now, you discover that ISWAP is somehow quiet. And when ISWAP is talking, just to me, I always see it as if it's the Nigerian government that is talking. That's my own, I see them. When Boko Haram is talking, it's as if this is the prodigal son, or let me not say prodigal son, this is the dog in which they are finished using, and now they just want to look for a way to discard them and to kill them. But the whole thing, I do not agree, or I'm not in support of any of these terrorist acts, because the whole list is there. When you are talking about the Sultan of Sokoto, when they posted him to Pakistan, he was the Nigerian soldier in charge of watching all the military training in Pakistan, overseeing it. He was attached to oversee everything in the Middle East for Nigeria. There was a time during this person, Obasanjo's regime, in which they trained about how many soldiers, almost 1,000 something soldiers. And at the end of the day, about 1,500 soldiers, thereabout. I can't remember the exact number, but about almost 1,000, immediately they pushed them to Pakistan for further training. But this training was not really guaranteed or was not assigned by the government that this is what should be.
Where
so
are you
it was like a kind of training.
Sorry, my brother, if I may just ask, where are you getting all this information? What are your sources?
Oh, I'm getting this information because I work with the federal government.
In Nigeria, in Maiduguri?
Yes.
Okay.
And I have a lot of friends. And I've stayed, I don't want to tell you much detail, but do you know that even my younger brother, may he so rest in peace, they killed him in Damboa in 2020.
I'm so sorry.
He was a very gallant soldier. He was one of their best gunner. One of the best gunner. His accolades are there in our house. So it's as if I was even in Maiduguri before him. And him, anytime he comes here, they always bring them in batch. They spend like 1 month. Whenever the fight is too much for the soldiers, for the commandos, they invite them, the special force. He is always there because he's first of merit when it comes to enemy tracking and location. He's very good at that, even in using mortars and all these things. He's a gunner. But at the end of the day, the way in which the Nigerian government set him up and killed him is something that annoyed me so much, because his name is not even supposed to be. When they released the 100 names in which they are supposed to bring to Maiduguri that time, his name was not there. But this particular man.
You mean your own brother?
My immediate younger brother, the same mother, the same father. This same man decided to put his name, but I told him that don't worry, just come. Definitely, I know that, yes, people will do your job. You say in 3 months you will be going back. He said yes. But when he came, 10 days later, they killed him. They killed about 52 of them that day. But when I heard the news, they said 2 persons died, 2 soldiers. I said 2, and he's among them. How come? What happened? I always told him that don't be in the front. Don't be the first to run when there's ambush. And don't be the last to run if there's ambush. Always stand there and fight. Until you see that, okay, there's no cover behind you, or there's no cover, people are leaving, or people are, you start looking for a way. If not, don't ever be the first. So it surprised me that he died. That day I was so angry. Yes, I know death can come to anybody, but I was so angry. When I went to the cantonment and I started asking, doing my own investigation and everything, I was able to meet with some intelligent officer, and they briefed me on what happened. So it's a funny thing that this country, a lot of persons don't really know what is going on in this country. But I wish, because some of these persons, when they tell you about the conspiracy of the government or how people, even in the House of Rep, one of the member in which was from Kilabage, he was making a statement, I think early this month, and he said when Boko Haram came and they wanted to finish them, they don't want the problem to finish, and that's how they happen to help. Nobody asks how Ali Abu died.
Ali Abu? Who is Ali Abu?
The Lieutenant Colonel Asaden You know, there were two major persons that were fighting this war in Maiduguri.
Okay, these people you're calling now, they were stationed in Maiduguri.
Yes, that was then. He died then. He was a very gallant soldier. Now, one Fulani soldier like that those days. You must have heard of him now. He's a popular soldier. Him and Major Manga. Wow. They were the two brave soldiers. I think Major Manga now is now a lieutenant colonel. I'd be what? I think the last time I saw a paper about him is something like that. But this country, we don't honor some of our great warriors that whenever they lead soldiers to battle. But at the end of the day, they use this thing that these people want to finish these people. Sometimes even when Christopher Musa, you hear that jets went somewhere, they bombed, they say, okay, they have killed innocent people. How well are we sure that these are innocent people? At the end of the day, they are making the army to slow down on their attack, and they are happy with it. So it's not all information that sometimes they say on the media that is true, because the locals that are there, they know what is really going on. And I wish we have good journalists that can go to such places, what really happened, and take some information, even in a way in which they can disguise themselves, blend into that particular community. I bet you get a lot of information of what really happened. So it's not always we should be taking most of it.
Sorry, Mr. Agbese, if you look at my screen right now, is that the Ali Abu you're talking about?
Let me look at it.
Sorry.
Yes.
So he was one of those people who fought this Boko Haram, right?
Gallantly. Because and the way he died, I wish you read more about him, how he died.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Honor, courage, sacrifice. The story of late Colonel.
It's a painful something in this country that we should always remember Atahiru. We should remember this person. And there's another gallant soldier, which is now, I think, a Lieutenant Colonel, Manga. These are people that he's still alive. We should remember their great effort in this country, or what they have done, how they have sacrificed themselves. Major Manga is not somebody then. He's not somebody that when they are shooting, he will be hiding. He doesn't hide. He's standing and telling people, stand up, take position. He doesn't hide. These are courageous, brave people.
So, wow. I don't know if I can chat you up, if I can bring you back so we can dive into this a little bit further. Because I see that the story I'm getting from you now, it seems like those of us who don't live in Maiduguri and all those places where you really have Boko Haram activity, we don't see the true picture of what is going on. The impression we have is that it's like the Nigerian army are not really tackling these folks. Do you have?
No, they are trying. It's just that, okay, look at 2 months ago. Do you know that they surround this nonsense guy that is disturbing in Zamfara and some part in Kaduna? What was that his name again? Toji Bello. They surrounded him. It's just about, okay, let them finish the job. But they got a call that they should withdraw and should hold on. The same thing, they are supposed to kill Shekau. The 72 battalion surrounded Shekau that time. They told them to hold on and withdraw. So some of all these things cannot come out to the public and people will know that this is what is happening. So there are a lot of things.
My brother, I don't know if you can see the private chat. If you can see the private chat, can you drop your number there? If you click on your phone, you will see somewhere called private chat. If you can drop your number there, then we can chat. Okay, Shitinka and Uncle Dayo, as well as Uncle Patrick is not here. Do you want to add anything to what Mr. Agbese is telling us right now? Because I'm getting a different picture completely from what he's saying. You know, I've said this before I believe that Nigeria army can actually fight these Boko Haram terrorists and win. That they can actually overcome these terrorists. And what you are saying now, Mr. Agbese, like Even you describing situation whereby they will have a terrorist leader surrendered and somebody will call them and tell them to let him go. It's shocking, my brother. Anyway, Uncle Dio, you want to add anything real quick?
Yes, sir. Uncle Beno, thank you very much. My brother, Mr. Agbese, thank you for your insight. I'm so sorry for your loss. God will comfort you and comfort all your family members in Jesus' name. See, everything you said, I've had it one way or the other before, but I've never had it directly from somebody that was almost at the center of the whole scenario. But somehow I've had it. Even the one that you mentioned about this Toji that that was surrounded at some point, and then just for them to finish him off, they said no, they back down. I've had that one also. Some of this information are out there because some people really know. But what is paining most of us as Nigerians is that our government seem to be complicit in all of this. And if you have a government that seems to be complicit in all this, allegedly, it becomes difficult. You want to fight a menace that you yourself have created, and you're making it look as if it's an impossible task. And you are using it in some ways to create budgets, to get money, to get all sort of support and all sort of things to perpetrate much more criminal activities. Now, I wanted to react to what this our African chairman said. I felt so embarrassed and I felt so disgusted by what he said for two major reasons. Number one, as an African leader, you're supposed to be much more conversant with the situation in every African countries around you.
Of course.
That statement simply makes it clear that he has no clue, or he just been very, very for lack of any better words, he just been very, very wicked by that narration. Because in Nigeria, an average person knows that there are three groups that are causing problems in the north and most part of the country. We have the Boko Haram. When we say we have the so-called Boko Haram, we know them. And Boko Haram and ISWAP, I would say that they are more like, as my brother, I've just explained them.
Almost like one. Mm-hmm.
Yes, they are just like part one, part A, and part B. They want to do away with part A. They want to back up on part B. They are from the same source. They are from the same father, but maybe from different mothers. Now, that is part one. The second group that is dealing with us in this country, they are Fulani X-Men. Now, X-Men started initially just for them to be able to graze. They want to buy people away from their land for them to be able to overtake it and be grazing. But eventually, we all know the story of what happened during the last election, 2015 election. What our late president did, inviting all these Fulanis into the country with the mind that he will use them to be able to cause chaos if he doesn't win. Eventually, he won, and he left them inside the country. He didn't send them back. Those are the ones that now became bandits, that are now being used. Now, some of them went into kidnapping. They are buying people. But now, the present day Nigeria now, most of them are being used by some of these ex-soldiers that are into mining Nigerian resources illegally. They are using them as their bodyguards. And this is very, very serious because most of the time, all the buying that they are buying is to scare the people. The case in point in view right now is that as I'm talking to you now, for the past 2 months or thereabout, if not more, that I've been buying in Kwara State, in Okode. That Okode particularly is because they are trying to mine, in fact, they are mining away some mineral resources from there. 2 days ago, I still saw a video online of people running away from that place because of the buying. They said they buy 15 hunters. It's on the news. Not on Nigeria media anyway.
Okay. Okay.
So all these things are there. We need to face reality. Nigeria has to wake up so that we can put an end to all this. Otherwise, I'm sorry. If you don't arrest this thing, may we not implode. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Okudayo. Oh, Mr. Agbese, let me ask one question and then you can tell us more of this story. I really appreciate you coming in because now we are beginning to get at least a better picture of what you guys are dealing with over there. So, Mr. Agbese, if I may ask, do you think Nigeria will need the help of the US in order to fight Boko Haram?
That's a very big question if you ask me, because the situation of Nigeria is very deep. I would have said that, okay, if the US, I'll prefer, 70% of me will prefer if the US Army will come in. But if the US Army come in, will those in power allow who is going to clean those in government? Those in government that have hand in all these things, who is going to clean them or sensitize them to stop? Or will they stop? And what's the perception of the North in terms of, oh, they want to kill our leaders so that at the end of the day, maybe they will now make us second class in our country? Because as it is now, maybe if you chat me up on WhatsApp, I will send you some picture of Californium, the mineral resources in which maybe they are mining from Maiduguri. And you see some of the names that are there on some of these things and the way in which they are trying to, test the Californium so that they can export it out of Nigeria. The same thing with Benue. In Benue, to me, there are a lot of lithium there. When Reverend Father Alia came into power newly, he went to about 2 of the local governments in which the majority of the persons in the villages have left. When he went there, he saw where they are mining something from the ground. They are just putting it in sack and loading it in tippers. And they are taking it towards Cameroon. To me, these are some of the things. Mineral is involved. Then the money in which they are getting, some of these local NGOs are getting from US. Sometimes you see some of their transactions, you see that they'll tell them, okay, they are giving you 2 million for GBV, gender-based violence. Try as much as possible to finish this money. But this money, I bet you, they don't even spend up to 30 million for those in the IDP camps. The rest of the money, God knows where they normally push them to. And a lot of big people are involved. And a lot of persons are so interested to open their own local NGO so that they'll be pushing in this money.
Oh my
So
God.
directly or indirectly, you cannot say, okay, that USA's ID is involved in sponsoring Boko Haram. But indirectly, their money always push to some of all these things. And it's not that, okay, people don't know that these things are happening, or people in the National House of Assembly in Abuja, they don't know. Especially some of them that are representing some of all that comes from Maiduguri, or some of these parts in Northeast or Northwest that some of these NGOs are involved. Because at the end of the day, they are the ones to make policy that ensure that you employ our people. 80% of those that you employ in this local, in this NGO, or all those people that will do direct intervention should be the local NGOs and should be our people. But can you give little money and at the end of the day, there is blood flowing everywhere? Then who are those? Who are the communities in which some of all this blood flows? How are there? Are there some of these local communities that they are not Kanuris and they are not Fulani? What are their tribes? And what are their religion base? Are there people that tolerate some of all these people that, oh, this one is my brother, he's a Christian. Oh, this one is my this. Then what's the perception of these people perpetrating this evil about some of this community that allow some of these infidel or some of all these people to be in their midst and they see them and sympathize with them? So Nigeria is complicated. It's not something that you can say, okay, the US should come. If the US should come in, to me, I prefer let them help us to clean our military, then help us to sanitize some of our politicians. I believe that Tinubu can do it, but it's just that Tinubu is surrounded with people that will that will not even allow him to hear some of the informations in which maybe are out there. I'm 70% sure Tinubu is not getting all the information of what is truly there in Nigeria. Then again,
wow,
why should the office of the NSA be so pushed or be so obscured towards a particular section of the country or some group of people, especially from a particular section of the country? And at the end of the day, if that office is so captured by that particular group, how are they sympathizing with their own people when their own people are perpetrating evil? Because the two major leaders that will talk that the whole North will listen more than any other person is the Sultan of Sokoto and the Shehu of Brunei. The Sultan have a very powerful background in the military. Even till today, he still have a very powerful ground in the military. Then how well can we say that, okay, our military is okay, or we are just one in the military, that we can be there for the country or take decisions in the country and protect lives and ready to, okay, to defend the entire country to make sure that everything is okay. So there are a lot of things. Nigeria is so complicated. The little you know, the better for your sanity. The more you start going deep into Nigeria, you discover that the problem, you start saying, oh, let them just separate this country. But if they separate this country, will some region understand and come into one? Because anytime I see the Yoruba people, I still see some persons that will say, oh, we'll be divided based on religion again within the Yoruba. I'm scared of that one. Then some parts like the Igbo people, because I know the Igbo people, a lot of other people that are Igbo don't even see themselves as if they are Igbo, because there are some group in the Kogi, some group in Benue, some group in South, that really we have the same culture, New Yam Festival, we celebrate some of all these things, we have almost the same alignment of the way we do things. Can we have our own section that, okay, this is our country? So I don't know. It's just to pray to God that, okay. But for me to say that, okay, the US should come in, I'll tell you that 70% of me want them to come in so that at least some, in terms of the grand fight in which some of these people have chance to just go and kill and go freely, will go. Then maybe later on, we'll now know how to talk to some of the people in the north, especially the minority tribes that are not Kanuri and Fulani, because Kanuri and Fulani, they are the owners of Nigeria, and they are the ones who determine who will be president, who will not be president.
Why do you say they are the owners of Nigeria?
To me, they are the owners of Nigeria because they understand the politics of Nigeria. When you go to Federal High Court in Abuja, majority of the time you discover that they are already, even presently, I don't want to mention names, they are working towards the future.
Please don't.
I'm sorry to say. There are
I'm saying don't mention name, but go ahead.
There are some persons in which they have already put there, like their sons. Is it Shegumi that maybe I am now hearing that his son is in the army? Then is it other persons in which, especially most of the sheikh, once you hear sheikh, they are putting their people, their children in strategic places. But in the East, they don't really care about the government. They want to do business. Then the Yoruba people, I see them as if, oh, everything is okay in Nigeria.
Is the vice president from the Kanuris tribe?
Yes, definitely. If you are not Kanuri, how can you be vice president? Then again, if you are not Kanuri, how can you even lead prayer? A Fulani man cannot be here for a Hausa man to lead prayer. A Kanuri man cannot be here for a Hausa man to lead prayer. These are the two people. You must go behind, let them lead prayer. A lot of things are involved.
Are you a Muslim? Sorry, bro. Are you a Muslim?
I'm not a Muslim, but I spend most of my good years in Sokoto and Maiduguri.
So you understand the workings of the system over there?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. She thinker. I'm gonna contact my brother. My time is far gone, but I want my sister to also chip into this conversation. She's also from the north, I am lost in all of this conversation. Man, no lie. The only thing I'm taking away from this is that the situation we have at hand is deeper than we think. For those of us from the West, East, and South, I think this is way bigger than us. And from what you are telling me now, my brother, it seems like now they look Boko Haram as terrorists. It's like to those people in the north there, it's like a business to them. That's from what you are saying. So, Shitinka, you want to add anything real quick?
Uncle Beno, I just want to commiserate with our brother on the loss of his brother, and to identify with many of the sentiments he's expressed. Some of them I'm not privy to, but many of the things he said, I'm privy to many of the things he said. The situation in northern Nigeria is very delicate. I would not say that people are looking at Boko Haram as a business, but I would say that there are people that look at the security situation in Nigeria as a business and they're cashing in on it. There are definitely people. And so when you have things like orders being given that do not appear to make sense, because, sometimes you have security apparatuses looking the other way when you expect that they would be there to protect lives and properties, then sometimes it's apparent that an order has been given that they have to respect. Who is giving these orders? That's the question. So I agree with our brother that it's very dicey to imagine that America can solve a problem that it appears America was aware of the creation of the same problem. I don't want to say categorically they were part of the creation, because I don't know that they were or they weren't, but it's difficult to there's nothing to suggest that they didn't know or were not aware of the creation of this problem. There's nothing to suggest that. So it's very problematic when they say they want to come. Yes, we think an external party would cause Nigerians to unite, because sometimes you think when you have a foreign situation, then everybody forgets their factions and we come together as one. But at the end of the day, if you think about the way the colonization of Nigeria was done, before that time, the Fulani had colonized most of northern Nigeria. There are parts of the northeast that they had not colonized. So Kanuri, Jukun, Babur, those tribes especially in the northeast had not been colonized. But when the British came, what they did was to make sure that they established their influence over the Fulani and then colonized through them. So they didn't disturb that hierarchy. And my fear is that if America was to come in, they won't disturb the hierarchy already on ground. They will just work with the hierarchy to get their own share in the pie. So that's something that troubles me.
Thank you very much, Shintika. God bless you. All right, my brother Agbeshe, I'll definitely reach out to you. We're gonna chat. I think I saw your number now. So we're gonna chat. It seems like there are more to what's going on in the north than meet the eyes, and we are just looking at it like, oh, Boko Haram is killing Christian, but then I don't know why today of all day has been one day that I struggle to get my thoughts together. I don't know why it was that from the moment I started this show. As soon as you called in, then it started making sense to me why I was struggling with my words. When I saw this news this morning, coming from the AU leader, Muhammad, or what's his name, that there is no genocide in the northern part of Nigeria, and I discovered that this man is a Muslim, I just knew that something is not right. Definitely maybe somebody gets to him and put him to task, because he's even saying it with smile. The video I was playing, that was his video. Do I still have the video here, sir? That was him. He was saying this thing with smile on his face. That, oh, there is no genocide in northern Nigeria. It's just, but then you came in and you make it all make sense. We have to go now, but I will chat you up and see if we can come back and deliberate more on this. But at the moment now, my brother, how is the situation on ground where you are? Are you people safe?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Are you safe where you
Yeah,
are? The situation there.
of course, everywhere is safe. Everywhere is safe. It's just that definitely you hear of maybe one attack or two attacks. Like yesterday, I don't know how true it is. I'm yet to get more information about it. I saw where they are saying that there's this motto in which the governor distributed that they normally help people to carry passengers. And I saw the picture that on TikTok that the motto, one of them was on fire around a custom flyover. But I don't know how true it is. But if it's true, because I checked the news, I didn't see any information on news about it. But I don't know how true, but I saw something like that. But once in a while, there used to be attack here and there. Like throughout yesterday, there were gun fire around Gamborungala Road throughout from around 8 o'clock till almost around 4 a.m. We are hearing this anti-aircraft gun throughout. But there is no news about maybe if there was an attack or there is no attack. We don't know yet.
All right.
But that particular area is very far from where I am.
So far, people still go about their regular tasks, like nothing happened, right?
It's a normal thing. It's a normal thing in the Northeast. Even if there is suicide bomber that just explodes something here, and maybe about 40 passengers died, business will continue as usual. It's become as if it's like, okay, life continues.
All right.
So it's no longer as if, when something happens, everybody start panicking. People don't panic again. You run for the moment. When you survive, you come back, and life continues.
So they are just used to it.
Yes.
All right, my brother. Thank you very much.
Person are immune.
Oh my God. Thank you very much for coming over and at least contribute to the conversation. I really appreciate it. Don't be a stranger, okay? We cover you guys with the blood of Jesus. I know that God will help us get to the bottom of this. Sooner or later, help will come. I pray that those who will be in government and can fight this those who can fight this Boko Haram scourge head on, I pray God will lead them to us in Jesus' name. All right, my brother, I have to let you go now because I have to close so I can also go to work, but we really appreciate you, okay?
No problem.
Thank you,
Thank
Baba.
you so much for having me.
Yeah, God bless you. Wow. That was tough. Shitinka and Uncle Dayo, that was really, really, really tough. It's like I'm hearing a different story for the first time about all of this. Shitinka, it be like say those of us way this out, we don't really know much about what's going on in the north too.
Uncle Beno, it's like I've been trying to explain it. Let me give you an example. Years and years ago, I was in this example will show you how different the north and south can be sometimes, and also how lovely the north can be. So I had this I was at some family friend's house, and their niece and nephew came from Lagos to spend a couple of weeks in the summer with us. And this was in Jos many, many years ago. And these children had been to different parts of the world on holiday, but had never been to the north. Now, when they were with us, every time they would talk, like tell stories, they'll be like, oh, when I'm in Nigeria, I do the XYZ, and they're talking about Lagos. They'll be like, oh, when I'm in Nigeria, this is what happens in my house. And they said it so many times because to them, Jos didn't feel like Nigeria. But also, it shows how vast that was on a social level, but also on a, how will I put it, on a social-political level. Another example, the typical northerner listens to his radio 24 hours in a day. The typical southerner, not so much.
I know.
And I can say this being both northern and southern.
I know. We the South Westerners, Our own party. We know they read news.
Meanwhile, our own in the north is siasa. Siasa is the Hausa word for politics. We're steeped in it. Steeped very deep.
So
calculations and intrigue and all of this. And unfortunately, the experience, like brother was just saying just now, it's life carries on, which is not healthy. It's not healthy. It's not the way a society is supposed to run. But life carries on because what else will you do? What else will you do? And I think it's important that the South is being sensitized right now to a lot of the madness in the North, because we can have a better country. We really can. There's a lot of purging that needs to be done. I don't mean of people's lives, but I mean of people's intentions. How that's going to happen, I don't know. But at least let's all wake up to the fact that, for instance, in the South, oil wealth is shared by all of the country. We have the 13% derivation formula. But in the North, you have other resources that are carted away clandestine, through clandestine operations. The wealth doesn't, Nigeria does not account for such wealth. People's villages, people are dispossessed of their lands and their property in order for these clandestine operations to continue. And then you have what now is, we have to term as a genocide. And we're all none the wiser because we're not aware. It's all still economic. And then it has religious colorations because some people will hide behind the lens of the guise of religion to perpetrate some of these things. It's a very complicated evil tapestry, for lack of a better way to put it. It's terrible. But we have, first of all, awareness. Secondly, sometimes the awareness is heavy for the mind. So somehow we need to find ways to sanitize our minds. It's complicated. They say if they explain Nigeria to you and you understand, you didn't get it.
Yeah, they're lying to you. Now lie. If they explain that you say you understand them.
They didn't explain it properly.
Thank you, Shitinka, my lovely sister. I can listen to you all day long. That your voice so sweet, my sister. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Uncle Benno.
Yeah, thank you, ma. Uncle Dio, any last word? Make I go. This is where I hear from my brother. I don't weak me today.
Uncle Benno, this is deep, and I'm looking forward to us having the part 2 of this conversation, because a lot of things that we don't know, that we thought we knew before, we don't really know them as much as we're supposed to have done. But what I wanted to say as my last word is this African Union chairman and what he said. I wanted to ask, when was the last time that African Union came into Nigeria to give aid to the IDPs that we have all over the country? When was the last time?
I don't know what they do.
That they've ever done that. We have thousands, if not millions, in IDP camps now, and nobody's talking about them. These people were driven from their villages some years back, and they're still in IDP camps. And not even African Union is coming to their aid or trying to re-establish or to reinstate them back in their communities. Strangers have overtaken their communities, foreigners for that matter, and nothing is being done. And it's like life goes on. The other day, we have somebody that came on air on this our show, on this particular round table, that he doesn't have anything called hometown again because they have taken over his hometown.
Hello? Hello, Uncle Dio. Shitinka, can you hear Uncle Dio? Is it me?
No, I can't hear him. I can't.
Okay, maybe he's receiving a call. It's Nigeria and evening. He's probably on a call. Uncle Dio, let me know when you come back. Anyway, I was going to leave you guys with this video of, what's his name now? Reverend Ezekiel. Okay, Uncle Dio, you are back. Okay, round up your thoughts, sir.
Yes, sir. I was just trying to say that whatever it is that we need to do, we need to start by resettling back these IDP people first, because the way to our healing in Nigeria is to correct some wrongs. If you leave all these wrongs uncorrected, it's a matter of time before it blow up in our faces, and God forbid. But if you can take a step. I'm not talking about America. I'm not talking about these terrorists now. I'm talking about the internally displaced people. They are still there. Let us do everything possible to reclaim back their land for them and return it back to their places. If you can do that, I think that's the right step in the right direction. Thank you.
Uncle Dio, you want to open another conversation entirely. Maybe tomorrow political rendezvous, we can talk about that. How do you get people back to their places when the main problem has not been solved? These people are chased out of their villages for a reason. Well, another conversation. Maybe we not even go there. Even though we know we'll come on here today, Uncle Dio. But Uncle Dio, maybe tomorrow you and I will talk about it. What do you think, sir?
I'll be happy because I'm feeling for these people. I'm feeling for those villages, for those communities, for those towns that have been overrun by bandits. That they could not go back to their homes and they're now being forced to live in a camp in their own country. In their own country, Uncle Beno. This is not right. And bandits are taking over their lands and nobody's saying anything about it.
All right.
It's too bad. It's too bad.
I thank you, sir. Thank you. I will see you tomorrow, Uncle Dio. Bye-bye for today. My shit thinker, you want to add anything, Mama?
No, Uncle Beno, I have nothing to add. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's show.
Thank you, Ma. I appreciate you, shit thinker. God bless you for helping me out today.
And you too, Uncle Beno. Thank you for encouraging us to have these conversations. I think they're very useful.
Yes, Ma. Thank you. In fact, one Don Pedro for you.
Uncle Beno, I'll be waiting for it. So let me not do like this. I'll not see the Don Pedro last. So
I'm already laughing myself because I know the real farm sister go tell you, say, we told you, so don't worry. Don Pedro go come. I'm just trying to, maybe I have to talk to Abby. I still don't know how to buy things on Amazon in the UK. Like, we're supposed to be able to buy things from UK from here, but I'll figure it out. Don't worry. Once I can figure it out, all of them will receive Don Pedro.
Yay, Uncle Beno for president.
So, thank you very much, Shintika. God bless you, my sister. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have to bring the show to an end here today. But we have another show coming up in about 1 hour, 30 minutes. A fantastic show. You don't want to miss this one. He paid me, even I go join. Even when I did work, I must join this one. I go list it. I pray they give us the opportunity to see our mind. So, TSC, the Circle of Sisters, hopefully you guys will allow us to talk our mind for today's show. So the TSC will be coming up in about an hour and a half, and they want to talk about love. Yeah, we want to talk about love, people. So the TSC want to talk about love from courtship to DMs, dating then versus now. This is a very interesting topic. You know, me, I love love, okay? I really want to understand what changes. What exactly went wrong? I want to know when the sisters change from building with men to now, nope. You got to come clean. You got to come straight. You got to bring the Lamborghini. I don't know what the sisters are going to talk about. That waiting they my brain, I just they talk. So me, I want to know, why is it that nowadays women have too much class, too much expectations? Oh, you got to come clean. You got to be 6 feet. You got to have 6-pack and all of that. Why? I need to understand. And I need to know, how are millennials and Gen Z dating these days? You know, you can say, I'm looking so sexy now. At least AI is making me look sexy. So I may decided I want to go to Instagram and I want to confuse I want to convince some Gen Z that, you know, pepper rest. So I need to know how to talk to Gen Z. I hope Abby, you guys will include all of those in today's topic. Let us understand how to roll with millennials and Gen Z. And all of you sisters that nowadays you talk about, oh, first date, second date, third date. I just don't know. I'm fingers crossed, man. All I'm saying is that please join us an hour and a half from now. The Sister Circle will be going live. They want to discuss from courtship to DMs, dating then versus now. It's always interesting. You know, the sisters, they bring it 100. They are not like me. You know, me, I like politics, but these sisters, they just like soft life and they like soft topics. So join us. Don't be a stranger. And the show is set up on two formats as usual. We're going to have the regular format as well as the vertical. So whichever one you find yourself, just have fun, okay? And having said that, I want you to listen to Reverend Ezekiel, because remember, today's show is all about why Nigerian government ignores Reverend Ezekiel Dakomo. I don't understand. Whatever they got going, I really can't put my hands on, but they've ignored this man for way too long. And I was thinking, if Nigeria government really want to solve this problem, why don't you start, first of all, by reaching out to a man who is crying for his people? Why? The Nigerian media, why ignoring him? Anyway, one of the media platform in Nigeria gave him their platform over the weekend, and Reverend Ezekiel said a lot. He said a lot. The video is just about 30 minutes long. You can listen to what he has to say. Don't worry, he might sound like, oh, the man is yelling. Why is he yelling? My brother, my sister, it's not about yelling. This is deep. The man can only express himself the best way he think he could, okay? So I'll see you guys shortly. I'll be in the background when my sisters are running the show. Let me put a break here so that I can cut this part off. All right, guys, listening to this engagement.
These are people that are enjoying to loot government money. But
the already existing issue on ground.
This is what the clerics say, that it wasn't it. It will not. Why is it that? Let's look at it vividly. My Bible tells me I should say the truth and the truth will set me free. These are people that are enjoying to loot government money by releasing their children, the Almajiris and the rest. They went into kidnapping, robbing people on the way, sending them in all the states. And they do atrocities to the whole nation, and the government knows. And look at what is happening. These people, instead of them to come out and say, thank you, Trump, for coming in to help us. Why? The repentant Boko Haram have been exhausted into Nigerian army and air force, police.
Okay, we're going to come to that because that's also another very sensitive issue.
And that, let me tell you, they know, I want to finish, they know definitely nothing they can do before our Nigerian army will arrive at a place where terrorist camp is. The repented Boko Haram has passed a signal to them that we are coming. When they come to that camp, they will discover it's empty. They have all relocated to another forest. And here is it. When prom is coming, they are wrecking, say they don't like it because they enjoy the game. But let me tell you something with the question that you asked me. I'm over 100% to 500% accepting the intervention of Trump because Nigerian government, their hands are tied. They know. And that is why there's a strong influence into this government to deny that there's no genocide on Christians.
But what do you think Trump will do differently if he were to intervene? Do you think he will be able to find the perpetrators quicker, or what?
Trump will not find it easy because some senators are sponsors to win election. They use the insurgent to block vote for them, to guide the vote for them, and influence it to come out with a fake, deceitful result. And the next thing, some governors, there's many things that I have secret, I will not say it here. How emirs, very soon, just recently, the whole northern emirs, they meet in the northern part of one of the states. And I know how they condemn the issue because some of them have been hypnotized, they are in chain. Because if they open their mouth and speak, you see assassination on them. So the governors also, some of the governors are sponsored.
So you're alleging that some of these attackers are being sponsored by people in power?
Some of them that are in power, not all. There are those that are good. Even in the Fulani terrorists, the good Fulani doesn't want this thing to happen. Good Muslims doesn't want this thing to happen. Like coming to the fate of Muslim in the southwest and southeast, south. It's a good fate. But the character of Muslim that is in the north is terrible.
So are you able and would you be willing to share proof of some of these persons in power that are sponsoring these attackers?
Let me tell you, I have it within me, but I will not say it. I've already taken an oath. I will say this one. Let them take me. I've chosen death. Let them take me. Who will come? The person that will surely sue me to court. That is when I'll come out. Because nobody that is not a sponsor of terrorists will respond. It's only the governors, the senators that have their deep hand that will sue me to court. Until when we read there, I know what God will give me to tell them.
Let's talk about the death threats that you allege you're receiving.
Yes.
So you said that you have even been given a 7-day warning.
Yeah, the 7 day, they abusive fasting.
So who are the people you suspect are behind these threats, and what steps have been taken to guarantee your safety?
The people that have a hand in the terrorists, they will go to any land because they know if Trump came in, their business of the day will fail.
So you're saying that those who are sponsoring the terrorists are also behind the threats?
They are behind the threat. Even the Boko Haram, they are meeting, I'm aware of it. They have put money on my head. If anybody killed me, he has a price. And 7 days has passed. I have my 7 days too. Through prayer and fasting in the Lord Jesus Christ. The battle has been drawn. I will fight better if I'm in the grave. my blood would speak. That's why I spoke to my family. My wife is here. Nobody should give Sisi if they kidnap me. It is the way for me to go to heaven. And by the time I arrive heaven, oh no, whatever I ask God to do for me for the sake of my people, Christians in Nigeria, nothing will stop God from doing it, because it's right in the Bible. Because the soul of innocent people that were killed on earth in Revelation are crying every day in heaven, saying, God, when shall you take vengeance for them, for us? They gave them white garment. Wait until other brothers have been killed on earth. That is, I'm one of the other brothers.
Okay, so
Yes.
I mean, these are very strong words, and I've seen a couple of those videos where you have said that you've given explicit instruction to your people.
Yeah, they should never pay kobo.
That they shouldn't pay ransom, that your blood speaks better.
Because why I say this, listen, why I say this, it is in the agenda of Islamic terrorists. They should kidnap Christians as long as they can do and ask for ransom, so that they will plunder the Christians and cripple their businesses, cripple the income that they will feed their family. And it's part of jihad. It's part of jihad.
So these threats that you're receiving.
So why should I take the last thing that my children would eat, and they would just plunder me, and end up my children will be suffering? I know what is happening in the nation. Even my children, once they see the name of my children looking for employment, looking for service, they refuse. They will eliminate my children. Even if they write the exam very well, they saw that Chomo Ezekiel, they will just cancel it.
Is this what is happening now?
Now to me.
And you think it's linked to?
It's linked to what is happening.
Okay, so these threats.
And that's getting what I told my children, that please let me tell you something. Every one of them must carry the cross. Be in Christ. Let Jesus take over your life. The country is something. Even when you are in the queue, you mention your name, that you are Darin Ezekiel Dachomo. You are Mvo Ezekiel Dachomo. Those women, they are married, so their name has changed. But once they discover they have a link to the father, they will say, this is a man that is giving us trouble in Nigeria. They should never give room for his children. And that's what my children are suffering today.
Okay, Reverend, I want to find out.
With the graduates, they are nothing, they cannot apply.
Yeah, I want to find out about the threats that you mentioned.
Yes.
You know, you got information that you have a 7-day warning, which you say the 7 day has elapsed.
It has elapsed.
So you also talked about the fact that you know about their gatherings. Do you have people giving you this information, or it's speculation?
Absolutely, from the bottom of my heart, insiders. Those that knows what I was doing is good. Let me tell you something. If my Bible says I should love my neighbor, and I refuse to love my neighbor, I'm under a curse. And this is what I love the Fulani, including the terrorists. I love Muslim, and I'll do anything. God has helped me. I've given form to Makkah. To the Fulani, they have gone to Makkah. There's one man that has gone to Makkah. During crisis in Bukuru, my house is among terrorists. Among the Muslims, not terrorists. Let me tell you something. But a later become terrorists after the crisis. All Muslims, there was burning of fire. Almost many houses in Bukuru, just Plateau State. All the Muslims, they cannot escape. Like that imam that was able to save almost 300 Christians. But over 100 people in Gar were slaughtered. My grandmother that I told you, she was killed. My uncle was killed. My best friend was killed. After a month, crisis emerged in Bukuru. And they all rushed into my house. The Muslim. My wife is there. Some of them, they were there. Even up till date, they are showing appreciation. And let me tell you, they came to my house. We fed them. And they need water to do salah. We provide the water for them. We did everything. I have to order my treasurer and the church secretary the last week offering and tithe. I said, bring the money. They brought the money. We asked for security because every place there was locked down. We moved to Kaduna State. I went and load food stuff because all my food stuff in my house is finished.
Okay.
So I brought the food to them and we cooked for them. Then after they relaxed the coffee, we invited security men. Let me tell you, there was a Fulani man when he came. We invited, they came and took them away.
Okay, Reverend, for want of time, I want us to talk about the fact that it seems, and there have been speculations that Christian organizations and Christian leaders are conveniently avoiding these conversations, and it now looks as though you're acting on your own. So why do you think the silence exists? Although recently we've seen some Christian organizations converge, to address the issue, but people are saying that they're not talking about it enough as passionately as you are. Why do you think it feels like you're working on your own?
You see one thing, Jesus said in Matthew chapter 5, he said, you are the light of the world and you are the salt. What is the work of the salt? If the good is to give good taste. Chapter 5 verse 11 to 13. We are the salt of the earth. We are to make the country grow. Every Christian must make the country grow. We are the preservers so that the nation will not decay. If you put salt on meat, it will not decay. It preserves the meat. We are the preservers of peace in Nigeria.
So why are the other Christians silent then?
I'm coming. They are silent because they have lost their taste. And Jesus said, when the sword lost his taste, he will be silenced. He will never preserve Nigeria with the truth because he doesn't have the truth. He will never give good taste. A salt arriving in the soup, it has to dissolve and touch every part. That's why Christians must have a say in politics. We are the salt. We have to go into the world of the politics, but they are silent. Jesus said, a salt that lost his silence will be thrown away. It becomes useless. They will be marching on it. Islamic people are marching. They are marching, definitely marching on Christians that have lost their saltiness. They are light, but they are under the table. They are not on the top of the table. Even Islam doesn't see light in them. They don't see light. Then here comes the Holy Spirit. Take over my body. You must cry out for my people. And God heard the cry. Trump responded as God responded to children of Israel in Egypt while they are slaves.
Okay, so Reverend, are you saying now that all these Christian associations are not backing you up, either in secret or in the open? Are you saying that you're actually on your own?
I'm saying that. I may not say they are not backing me because there are those that were regretting. They are regretting what some of them have said on the social media.
So which of them are regretting right now? Has anyone reached out to you from?
Like I asked the chairman Khan, Northern State. I see the press release. I know what he said because they were in Kaduna. Kaduna people, they have buried more than how many thousands? Only when we go to heaven, you will know. The southern Kaduna are bleeding. What shocked me more? Is the issue of that village that they burned people over 200 where that village, the bishop came in Benue? The president of Nigeria arrived Benue, but he was not able to go to the scene of Yelwata. He stayed. He has the calling helicopter. He has many, even if the road is bound, he can fly over Yelwata and see corpses. But he didn't go. Haba, what have we done? Politically, we are under genocide. We don't have a say in Nigeria anymore. And all the appointed Christians in this government, they are those that have lost their saltiness. They are marching on them. And this is what is happening, my sister. My fellow brothers in the nation, Christians are in pain.
All right, Reverend.
We must do the work of Saul. Preserve the Christian in the north are dying almost every day. Like today, they are burying 2 people in Rachi. I'm supposed to be there, but I'm here in Lagos. Should I give you the story of raping? I was there in the hospital. If you go to my social media, if you go to Facebook, you will see me live and direct. The Fulani terrorists came into the hospital and seized 2 Christian girls, took them to the bush, raped them, lied themselves. The woman came in the hospital. I was there. I lay my hands on them and pray for them in tears. And other Muslims are on admission. But
yeah. You be in the building. Hey, vibe with Uncle Bino. Let's go. Now happy hour things, you know. Hang out with you, babe. It's our vibe tonight. Hey, laugh and learn. We're shining bright. Oh yeah. You be stories, life lessons time. Hey, on the Uncle Beno show, everything feels right. From the streets to the world, we talk real talk. Vibes on the beat, make the whole place rock. Happy hour flow with smiles non-stop. Sip and chill with you, be the energy on top. You be stories, dropping them every day. Wisdom for life, the African way. From the grind to the glory, hear what we say. Tune in now, don't delay. Hang out with you, be it's a vibe tonight. Hey, laugh and learn, we're shining bright. Oh yeah, you be stories, life lessons time. On the Uncle Beno show, everything feels right. Join the sister circle. Oh, what a scene. CC Inca, honey baby, and I be so clean. Talk love, talk life, talk dream supreme. Empowerment vibes, like a royal queen team. All of Sunday school when the beat gets low. A moment of reflection, let the spirit flow. Men of God speaking wisdom, you should know. Faith and vibes on the Uncle Beno show. Hang out with you, be come catch that light. Oh yeah, you be stories, keep your heart so bright. Yeah. Join the sister circle, feel that fire. Oh yeah, Sunday school for your soul so right. You be nation, we rise together. Love and vibe forever. Uncle Beno show. Yeah, we outside.